Ah, yes. Good morning, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everyone like the video. Here we go.
Banking services provided by Pathward NA. Letspend.com. Deposit account is established by Pathward NA, member FDIC. Deposit account opening is subject to registration and ID verification. Terms and costs apply.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, The Steve Kane Show, soon to be 46 years, coming up in just a couple weeks. All right, well, we got a lot to talk about, a lot going on. Of course, I'm going to talk about the loss of Herschel Walker, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly why that happened, all right? Now, you know, a lot of people, pretty much everyone but me today, is going to tell you that it's Donald Trump's fault. And I'm here to tell you that the loss of Herschel Walker in Georgia last night has no responsibility being laid on Donald Trump. In fact, quite the opposite. And I'm going to go through all that. We'll take your calls. I think you'll agree with what I'm about to tell you. Now, I was talking yesterday about the general election in November, well, the midterm. I think the generals are before, but the main election in November. Why he lost that was because of that Libertarian candidate who took 81,000 votes away from Herschel Walker. And Herschel Walker lost in November by 37,000 votes. So he wouldn't have gotten all those 81,000, but he could have got half or three-quarters of them. It would have been over. So we got this runoff, and Herschel Walker not only lost, he lost big. And the numbers are changing because, you know, it's like 99% in. But he lost by about 100,000 votes. That's a lot. That's like beyond landslide. I mean, that's just a devastating defeat at that number in a statewide race for Herschel Walker. So it's not Donald Trump. So I was watching Rachel Maddow because I wanted to see MSNBC's response. They were so excited on MSNBC. In fact, they're in studio with Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, and a bunch of other lowlives over there on MSNBC, and they couldn't control themselves. Joy Reid was smiling ear to ear, and then they threw it to this joker who was in the ballroom at the Herschel Walker campaign, and everyone, it was like silent, everyone's quiet, they're upset, they're depressed, and this guy was like, you know, just jumping for joy that Herschel Walker had lost. So how did it happen? Well, it happened for a number of reasons. The thing about the Libertarian in November, I talked about that yesterday, so I'm not going to go through that too much today. But what happened yesterday is what I've been telling you was going to happen for the last few weeks. And it happened for a number of reasons. The Democrat Party has a get-out-the-vote machine. You guys know this, right? They vote in the early voting, they round people up and pick them up and drive them to vote. They have vans, buses, carpools. They organize at churches. This is not just Georgia. This is what they've been doing in Georgia. This is what Democrats do everywhere. They've got a get-out-the-vote machine. And Republicans, in particular MAGA Republicans, okay, the MAGA group of the Republican Party has no machine. We have no machine. You know, we don't have a get-out-the-vote machine. And the Republican Party does have a get-out-the-vote machine. They do. I'm talking about the Republican establishment, not the MAGA wing of the Republican Party. The Republican establishment have a get-out-the-vote machine for Republican voters, too. However, the Republican establishment want the MAGA movement to go away. They want Trump to lose as many races as possible, brand him a loser, so that they can rid themselves of Trump and take back the party. I've been telling you guys this for many years, since that Tea Party revolution. The Republican establishment, I didn't come up with this. Someone else did, but I use it. I just can't remember the name of the person who came up with it. It's been, 12 years. But the Republican Party establishment would rather control the loss than lose the victory. And what that means is the Republican establishment are very comfortable losing the Senate seat in Georgia. They're very comfortable, the Republican establishment, losing control of a house. They're very comfortable, the Republican establishment, even losing the White House, so long as they control the party. And you look at these high-profile defeats of Republicans, although Trump did very well. The problem with this is with Herschel Walker, Kari Lake, and Dr. Oz, they're very high-profile celebrity races. So everyone sees them, everyone knows what's going on, and they're very high-profile. So these 3 high-profile races we lost for various reasons. But I'm just really focusing on Herschel Walker. But if you look across the country, remember, the entire House of Representatives is up every 2 years, a third of the Senate. Who is the high-profile Republican establishment person that lost their seat? And there isn't one, right? A bunch of people you never heard of, or newbies like Oz or Herschel Walker lost, or Kari Lake lost, but none of the establishment people lost. None of the people in power lost. So the Republican establishment may have lost this race in Georgia, but they still control the party, which is how they make all their money. So the Republican get-out-the-vote machine, which is very, very real, was used in reverse, right? It was used in reverse to help the Democrats, to help Warnock win. And this is very important because don't believe what Warnock says. He is not just liberal on everything, he's incredibly liberal on abortion. And the Republican Party establishment that tells you they're pro-life and support the overturning of Roe v. Wade and all that, they're liars. They just helped a guy win who is for abortion at every stage of the pregnancy, no matter how late it is, in Warnock. I mean, that's a fact, even though he's a minister, right? Which is very strange, but a lot of very liberal people are ministers all over the country. Just because someone says they're a Christian and a minister doesn't mean they're pro-life and conservative. You see this all the time. So that's not new or surprising. But the Republican Party establishment did not unleash their machine. In fact, they did quite the opposite. And the Republican Party has local Republican clubs in every community in this country. Here in Florida, most of them are at the county level, right? Like we'll have the Palm Beach Republican Executive Committee, the Broward County Republican Executive Committee, Martin County, like that. And sometimes they're a little more localized, but most of them here in Florida are on a county level, and that's how they operate around the country. And I've known over the years many, many people who run these Republican clubs at the local level. And they're all establishment snakes, and they always have been. And Steve and I have run into trouble with these guys more times than I can remember. And what all of them want, the people, if you go to these, and I'm not talking about the MAGA Republicans, I'm talking about the Republican establishment clubs that are responsible for getting out the vote. And I've seen them in action to get out the vote when there's before Trump came down the escalator and there were establishment people they wanted to get elected. You go to these Republican clubs, and I know some of you have been to them, and they're weird. They all dress in blue suits and red ties. They all dress up like they're members of Congress. It's very weird. And most of them have a fantasy that they're going to be in Congress or in the state legislature, or sometimes they're business people and their business is tied up with connections through the club. It's like a chamber of commerce. Like they might have a State Farm insurance agency, and they get a lot of business through their contacts in the club. So when it comes to election time, the Republican establishment gets out the vote through these local Republican clubs. Now, what they're doing with MAGA right now, because they want the MAGA movement gone and they want Trump gone, is they go to these guys that are living these fantasies, dressing up in blue suits and red ties like they're members of Congress at the local Republican clubs, and have a dream that they're going to be a state senator or something like this. What they do is they go to them and say, hey, if you play ball with us, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to be a state rep, you're going to be a state senator, we'll back you for your run for the school board, et cetera, et cetera. That's what they do. So they stopped the Republican get-out-the-vote machine for Herschel Walker. I mean, I had a story yesterday I talked about on the air. It's disgusting. This guy should be thrown out of the party. The Republican lieutenant governor of Georgia gave an interview and said, he just said it, I went to vote. And he said he went to vote. And we're talking about this election yesterday. He waited in line for a couple of hours, and then he said he didn't vote for Herschel Walker. Now, he claims he didn't vote for Warnock either. I don't believe him. I think he voted for Warnock. But when the lieutenant governor, who's the #2 highest-ranking Republican elected official in the state of Georgia, Biden the governor, comes out and says in statewide media, I couldn't vote for Herschel Walker, that's like a confession right there. And that tells you everything you need to know about the Republican establishment and why Herschel Walker lost. Because the Republican establishment did what I'm telling you right now and a whole bunch more. They don't want high-profile MAGA candidates to win. They are their nightmare. Herschel Walker, Kari Lake. Dr. Oz would have played ball with them. Okay? He would have been another Romney, no doubt about that. But Kari Lake, they can't control. Herschel Walker, they also couldn't control him. So listen, we're going to take our first break of the hour. Our number is toll-free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I got a lot of other topics I'm going to get into today, but I do want to hear your thoughts on this. And that's why I believe Herschel Walker lost. 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. We'll be back right after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no? Do you agree with me?
Oldies 95.9 and 106.9.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, the biggest
Yeah.
of the year.
It's true.
Many of us have been celebrating for
It's very true. I mean, you know, and that's a tough thing. I mean, the Republican establishment are people like the McCains in Arizona, right?
spinning live. Let's go. Scott Shannon in person.
Oh, by the way, one of our YouTube watchers
The true masters of radio and
asked me to promote his book for him, which I am going to do throughout the stream today. It's available on Kindle and paperback and Kindle Unlimited, if you got Kindle Unlimited. And it's a pretty conservative book. The Divided Stories of America. And it's about how globalists and the New World Order and the Green people are destroying everything. The Divided Stories of America. It's on Amazon. J.C. Finnegan. There you guys go. And I pinned the link at the top of the chat, and I also have the link in the description of the YouTube video. So if you guys could pick this book up and support our YouTube watcher here. Now, he usually watches not during the live stream, so I don't know if he's in there right now. He usually watches later. The Divided Stories of America. It's on Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, Kindle, and paperback. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wouldn't tell you about it if it wasn't interesting and cool, but I pinned the direct link at the top of the chat, and again, there's a link in the description here on YouTube. But that's what they do. They're snakes. That's just the way it is. You just ordered? Well, thank you very much. Oh, man. I'll go to the phones when we get back. People calling in. Well, thank you, Rome. Appreciate that.
At the Sonata Senior Living Sock Hop in Delray Beach. Get familiar with senior resources like home care, medical equipment, legal services, and more.
Are you kidding? It's like great weather here. I had to, this is true, I had to have the air conditioning repair guy come to my house and fix my air conditioning yesterday.
It all happens today, December 7th from 1:30 to 4:30 at Sonata of Delray Beach.
Which is service. It wasn't broken. You had to clean it. You had to get it cleaned once or twice a year.
Elite Medical Supply, Vet 41, Life Law Planning Group, and Village Care Florida. Come by and get a free root beer float on us, and Oldies will be there.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone on bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Life.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome.
Non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections medications that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery.
That's right, they're rhinos. Republicans in name only.
You don't have to live with pain any longer.
I like to call them rats, Republicans against Trump.
6642. That's 754-222.
20 degrees where you are, Rome? Oh my goodness, it's going to be in the 80s today. Let's move to Florida. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Oh, man, Anne Marie's in Pompano. You hear Steve and I talk about the great homemade Italian food at Anne Marie's in Pompano. I love Anne Marie's. I was raised on Italian food. I love Italian food. And let's be honest, all the other restaurants around town, nothing's homemade. Everything probably comes from BJ's or Costco or Sam's Club or something. You know what I mean? That's where do you think those bulk sizes go? And then they cook everything in the microwave. Not at Anne Marie's. Everything is homemade with grandma's recipe right in the kitchen. And family owned and operated. They take great pride in their food. And they got a great offer for all of you for Christmas. Listen to this. This is really an amazing offer from Anne Marie's. If you go to Anne Marie's and spend $100, take your family and you spend $100, and let me tell you, $100 goes a long way at Anne Marie's, especially with those huge portions that are enough for two. You spend $100 at Anne Marie's, they're going to give you a gift card for $20 for your next visit. Is that amazing? You spend $100, they're going to give you a gift card for $20 good on your next visit. Now, maybe you want to buy some gift cards as Christmas gifts. My wife and I, we do buy Christmas gifts or gift certificates as Christmas gifts from time to time, and they're great gifts, especially if you have someone in your family or on your gift-giving list that loves food. We got a few of those people on our gift-giving list. They love food. We get them gift cards, and we're going to take advantage of this because this is a huge deal. Listen to this. You go to Anne Marie's and buy a $40 gift card, right? You pay $40. They're going to give you a $50 gift card. You spend $40, they're going to give you a $50 gift card. Pretty good deal, huh? By the way, you can buy these for yourself, too. If you spend $80 on a gift card, they're going to give you a gift card for $100. Wow, it's an amazing deal, isn't it? Spend $80, they're going to give you a $100 gift card for that $80. It's a good deal. Anne Marie's in Pompano is on the northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road, in the same plaza as the movie theater. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio when you stop in, and those are great deals. All right, so I just gave you an explanation as to why Herschel Walker lost. Let's take some calls, all right? Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I can hear you. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, yeah, Daryl calling from Atlanta.
Daryl in Atlanta. Yes, go ahead.
You know, Brian, I just didn't see a way for Herschel to win this thing, and I'm going to tell you why. We were bombarded with Warnock ads on TV, through text messages. I was trying to figure out how in the hell they got my number, my phone number, you know, and I just didn't see the Republicans putting real support behind.
Yeah, because the Republicans wanted Herschel Walker to lose. That's why they put no money behind him.
And look, I get that. You know, I voted for Herschel, and I voted for Herschel because I didn't want to see the Democrats try to push, you know, ending the filibuster, try to pack the courts, all this stuff. You know, I believe all of that stuff is on the table now because of this election, and I don't think that people like Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy and Ronna McDaniel really care about that.
No, I mean, I want you to think, I remember Ronna McDaniel is related to Mitt Romney, and Mitch McConnell, let me tell you, when that vote came across last night and the race was called for Warnock, Mitch McConnell was high-fiving someone. He was very happy.
Without question. Without question.
Which is sick, because that means if he wants to be the minority leader, not the majority leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell. That's crazy. That's how bad it is.
Exactly. You know, I think it's Steve Dace I saw had put a tweet out sometime during the summer, and he said the exact same thing, that McConnell doesn't want to really be the majority leader, because then he'll be held accountable for you know, by the base. He doesn't want that.
Well, listen, Mitch McConnell works for China. You look at Mitch, and let's be honest, all right? He's one of the, I mean, I don't attack people for their looks, but it's important for him. He is one of the most physically repulsive members of Congress. He really is. He's a disgusting person, just physically and everything about him. He's married to this Chinese heiress. She's not a bad-looking woman, and she's from a family that are millionaires many times over in China. Why do you think this rich millionairess from China, from a very prominent family in China, her father went to high school with the former president of China, why would she marry the most unattractive man in Congress? She's his handler from China. I'm not kidding. She's his handler.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, I'm well aware of all those facts that you just put out there. But it's an uphill battle. And you know what? And the thing that's really discouraging for me is going to be a really uphill battle for my man Trump. Because until we really deal with what happened in 2020, these elections.
No. Well, we gotta move forward on things. See, this is what I'm telling you. We gotta look at what's going on now. Forget the past. I live in the now. And what I'm telling you is this, okay? We do not, in the MAGA movement, have a get out the vote machine. What we're doing isn't working. You just can't say, go vote on election day. That doesn't work. We've got to have an organized get out the vote machine. Like when I was at Mar-a-Lago after the break-in, and there was an impromptu Trump rally there, one of our listeners was there in his SUV driving people to and from the rally in his own car, using his own gas on his own so people could go there to support President Trump. We need that kind of activism organized in the MAGA movement during these early voting periods and on election day to get the vote to turn out. A lot of people in Georgia, for example, there's a lot of people who, like me and you, knew that Herschel was going to lose, so they didn't bother. Oh man, there's a lot of traffic tonight. I got to get home. If I stop off and vote, I'm not going to be home till 7. I'm hungry. I'm tired from work. We need someone who's going to pick those people up and take them. I mean, in Georgia, probably has one of the most activated, even though it's illegal, Democrat machines in your churches, in your black churches. And what do? You go to a black church in Georgia, they got buses taking people to vote for the entire month and on election day. We don't have an operation like that, and that's a major disadvantage. And talking about these other things ignores things that we can't fix the past, but we can fix what we do moving forward, and that's why we got to talk about some of the things I'm talking about. All right, I appreciate the call, but you guys aren't hearing what I'm saying. You're talking about people, and this is true. A lot of you white people, you don't go to black church. I don't go to a black church either, but I've been to them and I know what they do. You go to a black church around election time, any election in this country, not only is the preacher going to be up there on the pulpit telling you who to vote for, they're going to have Democrats handing out the black voter guide. And if you don't drive, don't worry. Just get to church and they're going to drive you. They've got an organization. We do not have an organization. But it's never too late. We've got some very smart people. The MAGA Republicans, conservatives, are business-minded people. And we have a lot of people that have fleets of cars for their company. We got people that have cars. We need to have basically our own kind of like MAGA Uber Lyft service during early voting and on election day. These are things these are things that we can fix and work on and actually do. We almost have to act like we're a third party. All right, we're going to take our break. We'll be right back after this.
Making morning radio great again.
I got to turn the volume up for the callers so it blasts you. Maybe I put the pot up higher for the callers. The callers seem to run low. I don't know. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You know, yeah. I mean, we could turn out tens of thousands of people at a rally. We got to have a rally point to get out the vote and be organized. Oh, Wookie's got some cool, he's like a 70s hipster. We're picking up what you're putting down. That sounds like the guys that speak jive on airplane. Is that what that's from, Wookiees? We're picking up what you're putting down? Doesn't that sound like the guys speaking jive in airplane? JP, I mean, you can't talk that now. Yeah, I remember this. Slide me a piece of porter, the cat truck through the water. And then it says, I'd like the fish, please. I love that. That's the funniest movie ever made. Excuse me, miss, I speak jive. Remember Barbara Billingsley? Yeah. That's right. I'm Red Wave Brian today.
561-203-2903 for reservations or takeout. 561-203-2903. Happy holidays from everyone at Chowderheads in Jupiter.
Hear that music? That means it's Christmas shopping season again. For your Christmas shopping, there's no better place to go than mypillow.com. And with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, you'll find more exclusive ever on mypillow.com. Right now,
You know, let's see if anybody knows. Airplane is actually a remake of a movie. Does anyone know the name of the movie that Airplane is a remake of? I own both movies. Does anyone know? Let's see if anybody knows. Airplane is a remake of another movie. In fact, Kathy and I just watched the original. See if anybody knows. Most people probably don't even know that. Not Airport. No, Airport came later. No, Airport. No. The original that Airplane's a make of is not Air. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not Airport 77. No. Airport 77, that's the one with Jack Lemmon. Mm-mm.
This is Lori Kane. When people go
It's a movie called 0 Hour. It's called 0 Hour. And let me, the actor, I just watched it. I've watched it a bunch of times, and it's a drama. And Airplane is a complete remake of it. It stars Dana Andrews, plays the striker. He's striker in this movie. It's called 0 Hour, and it's a drama. There's a few differences, but yeah. 0 Hour, Dana Andrews, and it's, even though it's a drama, it's this, they use the same script in Airplane for most of the movie. There's some things they added, you know, but people even get sick from the fish and everything. Yeah, you watch it this weekend. It's a good movie, and it's not meant to be funny, but you'll crack up because it's 0 Hour. Dana Andrews. And I just looked it up. It was made in 1957. Mm-hmm. I've been telling you guys Herschel was not going to win. They were not going to let him win. Robert Hayes is an Airplane. Airports with Burt Lancaster and Dean Martin. I love all those movies. Kathy and I just watched, no, Airport 75, Kathy and I just bought that movie. We just watched it last weekend. That Airport 75 is the one with Charlton Heston where they lower him into the cockpit. And Dana Andrews is in that one too. Andrews, who's in 0 Hour, is in Airport 75. He's flying the plane that crashes into the big plane. And then Airport 77 is Jack Lemmon when it crashes into the ocean and the plane sinks, but they're in an airtight bubble, so they get rescued by the Navy. And then Concorde Airport 71 was the last one. What actors in all of those airport movies? All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. You missed the real show on YouTube during the breaks when all the stuff happens that doesn't happen on the radio. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking about why Herschel Walker lost. I was telling you guys in the first couple segments why he lost. And I think most people will agree with what I said. And, of course, we can overcome all these things. But let's take some calls before I share any more of my thoughts. And I got a lot of other topics we want to get into today as well. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, you're right. And look, I was over the weekend and stuff. I was listening to, you know, Bannon, and he had this guy John Fredericks on, and he was talking about, well, we're going to use the Brian Kemp get out the vote machine, right? That based.
What that means? That means vote Democrat and stay home. That's what the. Yeah.
Brian Kemp.
Well, but you notice Brian Kemp got his vote out. See, you know, how does the Republican governor win? I mean, you got to think about this, okay? When you go and vote, how many people do not vote straight party line? I vote straight Republican. I vote straight Republican, okay? If there's a gay Republican, I'll vote for them too, okay? I'll vote, I just go Republican right down the line. Who goes and votes for the Republican governor but for the Democrat running for Senate? Not very many people. So what happens, some people do, but not very many people. So what they did is they got their people to do what the lieutenant governor, who's a Republican of Georgia, did. Vote for Warnock. He said it. He said, I showed up to vote, I waited for 2 hours, and I couldn't vote for him, for Herschel. I've never heard a state-elected Republican publicly say they would not vote for the Republican nominee in an election. I've never heard that before. We're in new territory.
And here's something else to think about. Go, not just Warnock, but think about this. All the high-profile reverends, preachers, black preachers are Democrats. Warnock's a Democrat, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton.
Have those names you mentioned, what do they all have in common other than that they're black preachers? What do they, and Democrats? They're Democrats, they're black, and they're preachers. What else do they have in common? Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and Jeremiah Wright. You could probably list others, but what do they have in common other than they're black Democrat preachers?
Well, that's the elephant in the room is they're racist.
No, well, okay. What else? Okay, no. They're all millionaires, multimillionaires. So how do you become a multimillionaire? Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton don't even have churches. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, that's right. So they don't even have a place to pass around the collections plate. They become rich by becoming part of the Democrat get out the vote machine. That's what they are. That's how they make their money.
I mean, to the point of where Jesse Jackson eventually, at one point, ran for president.
Yeah, he got a big windfall that year. All right, hey, listen, appreciate the call. Thanks so much. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Al.
Oh, are you up early or still up?
Oh no, I'm always up early. I just don't call in early. Any case, Herschel Walker, alter ego, is a werewolf, so he's howling at the moon today. So don't feel bad for him. He's got his true calling to be a werewolf. Anyway, the Trump crime family got 17 convictions, and Trump will be shortly indicted, probably, I was guessing, February or March.
Wait, the Trump family got 17 convictions? Tell me about that.
Yeah, the trial that went on, they came back with a verdict.
Trump was on trial? Trump was on trial?
His corporation.
Oh, the Trump company, the family. Well, that's not what you said. You said the Trump family.
Well, that's their corporation.
The company. Yeah, through this Weisenberg guy that was singing like a canary, and he got a liberal jury in New York. So what is the penalty that the richest man ever to be president of the United States received, his company? What was the penalty? $1.9 million.
Yeah.
Okay. $1.9 million, you know, I would retire. You would probably go and blow it on strippers and stuff. But $1.9 million, President Trump spends more money golfing a year on that. Melania, that might be Melania's monthly wardrobe and beauty budget. $1.9 million to the Trumps is like $20 to you or me.
Is that the FBI can?
No. So what does that when someone is fined the equivalent of $20? That's like they didn't pay their toll on the turnpike. That seems like a slap on the wrist. It doesn't seem like this big indictment that you were looking for.
Full penalty, but he has to sell his properties, and they're going to put liens on his.
Unless he pays. So you even said it's a drop in the bucket. Not a very severe fine for such a.
This is decided to stay in New York. He can't buy and sell.
He wants out of New York. New York's corrupt, and they're harassing him.
And rightfully so. The man's a freaking criminal.
Let me ask you: were the Central Park Five guilty of rape? Well, they were found guilty in a court of law and a justice system. So they were actually.
Proven up.
Well, so what you're telling. Okay, so what you're telling me is that court verdicts don't mean much. No, they were and no, they were found guilty in the original trial. So what you're agreeing with me is that juries are biased, in that instance racist, and the Trump organization liberal and hate Trump and MAGA, and juries and court rulings are often wrong. Did O.J. Simpson kill his wife, Nicole Brown? Probably. Yeah, well, he was acquitted by a jury. What does that mean?
Money, he could buy his way out. Trump is going to.
Well, no, one of the jury members. Excuse me. One of the jury members in the O.J. Simpson case, after the acquittal, walked out of the jury box, looked at O.J. and gave him the Black Power fist symbol. Okay, so this tells you what? That juries are biased and they render verdicts based on how they feel about individuals, oftentimes. That they're meaningless.
This case was an open and shut case. There was no.
Oh, so was O.J. Simpson. His blood was everywhere. Ron Goldman's blood was inside his Bronco. There was a trail of O.J.'s blood dripping from where the Bronco was parked right into his front door. The clothes that he wore in the murder to murder them were found in the washing machine by Mark Furman. Well, because this story, I know you're mentally challenged, but I still take your calls.
No, Trump is mentally.
Oh, Trump is mentally challenged.
Mentally challenged people in Georgia.
So what I'm telling you is, the reason I'm bringing up OJ is because I'm telling you that juries oftentimes are biased. What did you say? Did you say Jews?
No, juice.
Juice.
Say juice.
Sounds like you've been drinking some OJ with vodka.
No, I haven't had a drink of vodka in like 40 years. I'm not a vodka drinker.
Oh, what kind of drunk are you?
I'm not a drunk. I'm a teetotaler, always have been.
Oh, so you're like always got a little buzz going.
No,
except on our when I go on our cruises, I do drink a little bit too much, especially the first night, because all the drink. I was plastered. Well, it's free drink. I don't drink all year long, really, too much. Oh, I am plastered, but I'm on vacation. But during the other 51 weeks of the year, I don't drink like that because I've got a place to go. It's called work. In your instance, you can just have this running buzz go all the time because you don't have to report to work.
50 hours a week.
50 hours a week? Really? What time do you report to work today?
11.
And where is that? Doing what? Don't tell me the name of the place, but doing what? What will you do at 11 a.m.?
I communicate with other...
okay. Oh, okay. So being on your computer at home on Facebook, that's not a job, Al.
I'm not talking about Facebook. I got 100,000 people on Facebook following me. I got 20,000 on YouTube following me.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. You're responsible for all my success. All right, now that I can't abide by that. He's responsible for my successes. Liberal Al the John. Are you kidding me? All right, we'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Eddie from Uncle Eddie's Restaurant in Jupiter. Season is here. Now it's time to eat real, authentic Italian food. The key to a great restaurant is consistency, and that's what I provide. And the other places, cooks come and go every year.
Steve says the callers sound like he's listening on his headsets. He says he can hear the callers and me talking at the same time.
So stop going to those boring fugazi joints. Come down to Uncle Eddie's where you have food and a great time. As far as music goes, Wednesday night, Larry Brendler on the piano.
He says the callers sound like they're in an echo chamber.
Friday, Saturday night, Bobby Fonseca, the piano man. And Sunday night, the best night of all, Sing Along with Uncle Eddie, hosted by Mike McGann. Uncle Eddie's located at 4050 US 1.
Well, I know there's a setting on the board where he can hear, like he can hear us now during the break, Steve. And there's a setting sending that out. Do you know where that setting is? Because maybe if we turn that off, that might help. I don't know which setting it is. Is it this? Oh, I think it's the OL setting.
Well, that's how callers hear as well.
Okay, that's the mix minus?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the setting where, like, he can hear us right now.
Yeah. The callers and him, well, if this was off, it would hear us, well, like we're off, yeah.
Is there a way we can set it where he can't hear us during the break? Because that might be the problem with the callers.
During the break, I'll probably hit that OL then until we get back on.
But then you got to put it back on?
Yeah.
Nah, that's too, no. There's got to be a permanent way.
Maybe for... I want to say try this.
Okay. Well, that's just the...
That's what my gut says.
Okay. Well, that's OL. What does that stand for?
Well...
I forgot what it stands for.
Well, if I remember something online where...
If I turn this off on my mic, you'd still hear me on the air? The callers wouldn't hear me?
Yeah, just the callers and Steve wouldn't hear you.
The callers and Steve wouldn't. But what about when we're live on the air?
Yeah, that's what connects us to them.
Okay.
Unless they're listening to on the radio.
Well, if we turn that off, the callers can't hear the spots when they're on hold?
Yeah.
Oh, we need them to hear the spots when they're on hold. Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a way. They showed me on Monday, but I forgot on that board.
I had a new patient on Saturday, came in with sciatic, leg pain. She lifted something wrong on Saturday. She did and this helped. And I said, sure. And we did the laser on her Saturday. On Monday, she returned, and she said, thank you.
Well, it's no big deal. We'll figure it out. But he said the call, well, we'll see. Al's call wasn't, he was not sounding too good anyway. His phone quality wasn't that good. So that might have been that. We'll see.
What I do hear from them is a referral, the family, the wife, the cousin, the nephew that comes back to me. And that's the biggest joy of my life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call at 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710 and say bye-bye to your pain.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show on the air.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Welcome back, everyone. Lots going on, lots to talk about. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We're in Christmas party season, holiday party season, Christmas time, holiday time, New Year's time, all these times. And by the way, Valentine's Day coming up too. This is the time of year where you see people you see once a year, once every 5 years, every 10 years, or even longer. It's true. It's true. It could be your holiday party at work. Who knows? It could be Christmas with your family. And I'm going to promise you this. You don't look like you did last year. You don't look like you did 5 years ago. And you know what? That's okay. That's true with most of us. And what do people do? They try to lose weight. They work out. That stuff doesn't work. How many of you have stopped eating, starved yourself, done the juicing thing and everything else, and you still didn't look like you wanted to look when it was time for that Christmas party or that Christmas get-together or the New Year's party? Well, luckily for you, Any Lab Test Now of Boca has expanded right next door to Forever Youth. And they can help you and make you look like you did last year and 5 years ago with their Cool Sculpting Elite procedure they have. This is non-invasive. It's that Cool Sculpting. You may have heard of Cool Sculpting. It permanently freezes away fat cells. It's non-invasive. It removes the fat, and there's zero downtime. And, you know, you only have so many fat cells in your body. And once they're gone, they're gone. That's right. That's it. And what the Cool Sculpting does is absolutely amazing. It does everything liposuction does without the surgery, which is brutal and violent surgery. If you've ever seen online liposuction, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, don't. You can't unsee it, and it's awful. If you saw that, you would never have gotten it done if you've had liposuction. The Cool Sculpting not only kills those fat cells and gets rid of that fat, it actually sculpts your body so you have the shape and the physique that you want to have. It works on belly fat, arm fat. You got fat on your arms. It works on the back, the love handles, the neck and chin area. If you've got fat, the Cool Sculpting Elite Cool Sculpting can work for you at Forever Youth. Right next door to Any Lab Test Now of Boca. You can find them online at foreveryouthboca.com or give them a call, 561-717-8081. 561-717-8081. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. You get a 20% discount. You heard me. They do other things too. Botox, Juvederm, all those fillers, get rid of all the wrinkles and all of that. They do it all and a whole bunch more. I got a whole list here. Chemical peels, laser hair removals, dermal fillers. They do it all. And it's a 20% discount if you mention you heard them on the radio. 561-717-8081. 561-717-8081. All right, so I laid out why Herschel Walker lost in Georgia, what we can do to fix these things moving forward. We're taking some calls, and then in a little bit, I'll bring up some other topics, all right? Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
Hey, Brian.
Agostino.
Yeah, I'm up early because I'm mad, okay?
Oh, you're in Georgia, Agostino.
No joke. No joke. They pulled a good one on Herschel.
Yeah.
To see a pastor get up in a pulpit and preach about whiteness, against whiteness people. I want to know where Warnock's coming from. He's a loser.
Well, he won last night, unfortunately.
What about this in a debate and Cheney and all this crap?
What about it?
Well, I mean, he's going to run for president.
Yes.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to...
I will always vote for Trump. If anyone, when I go and vote in the Florida primary for president and Trump's on the ballot, that's who I'm going to vote for. And by the way, that's not just Donald Trump. Don Jr. would be, he lives here in Florida, right down the street from the radio station in Jupiter. He would be a great person to be our governor in Florida after Ron DeSantis. Be a great governor, Don Jr. I'm going to always vote for Trump over anyone else. I don't care who it is.
And she's going to take Trump down.
Good luck. She couldn't even win her House seat. You're talking about Liz Cheney.
Yeah, she's going to have that old guy with the mustache, whatever his name is.
John Bolton.
Yeah, right. She's going to team up with him or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. Two losers together. The daughter of a war criminal and a loser.
In the race, too.
Maybe. Listen, Trump is going to have primary opponents. That's okay. That's okay, because those are people you want to write down on that list to never trust again. Anyone who runs against Donald Trump in the primaries, I got a list of these traitors, Candace Owens, Kristi Noem, Corey Lewandowski, Winsome Sears, Brian Kilmeade, Bongino. These are all people, Dan Bongino, you heard me. These are all so-called MAGA Republicans who have said Trump shouldn't run in 2024. Rand Paul's with Trump.
Oh, so he's not going to be on the debate stage as running for president?
Rand Paul is a little different, okay? Rand Paul runs for president all the time. He knows he's not going to win. He just kind of does it to say his piece. I wouldn't hold it against him. He's different. Like Mike Huckabee runs for president too all the time.
I want to hear what Trump's got to say about DeSantis' wife.
About his wife? What are you talking about DeSantis' wife for?
Trump said he's going to expose something about DeSantis' wife.
I did not hear that. That is new to me. Where did you hear that?
I heard it on everything you listen to, any type of thing.
Well, no. President Trump a few weeks ago made a comment. He said that this is what really ticked a lot of people off at President Trump. He said he knows things about Ron DeSantis that he hasn't shared, that we don't know. He didn't say anything about Casey, the wife. Not that I heard.
Okay, well, that's what it was. He said he was going to say some things about I thought he said about her.
Yes. Is it? Well, I'll look it up. It was about Ron DeSantis. I don't know what he was referencing. I do know this. I'm not going to badmouth Ron DeSantis. That's first of all. But second, Donald Trump's never lied to us. So if he says he knows something about someone, that is potentially scandalous, I mean, you got to believe him, right? I mean, has he ever lied to us? I can't think of a time he's ever lied to us.
No, they're just trying to go after his family and everything. Now, by the way, they said that Ivanka and her husband were the mole in that Mar-a-Lago raid.
Who said that? What are you listening to?
The news.
Oh, the news. No, that's fake. Yeah, I know. I've heard that too. No. Why would Ivanka and Jared Kushner be a mole against President Trump? What would be their motivation?
Yeah, you're the one in Florida. You're the one that knows everything.
I do. I know that's not true.
Okay, I'm going to trust you.
No, you should.
I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust your radio station.
You seem upset. Yeah, you seem very upset about Herschel Walker. I hear you.
I am. I'm ready to get on a boat and get drunk.
Oh, really? Well, our cruise is leaving next month, January 28th.
Sign up for that thing and get on a boat and get drunk with you.
Okay. You won't be the only one. There'll be a lot of us drinking. Drinks are included. All right, take care. Oh my goodness. On the last cruise, you talk about drinking too. All the drinks are included, right? So I got all that. There were a couple of guys. One of them is a retired police officer who was on our last cruise in our group, and we were talking. And this guy, he was a retired cop, And I'd gotten a shot of Patron tequila, which I would not normally order Patron, but since it's included, I ordered it, right? Because I don't have to pay. And he said, "What is that?" And I told him, and he had told me he had never done a tequila shot in his life. A retired police officer, he drinks, but never did a shot of tequila. So I said, "Well, we're going to change that right now." And I don't remember much that happened after that. We did so many shots of tequila. It was insane, and we didn't pay 10 cents because the drinks are included on our cruise. That's right. It's absolutely amazing. And you all should join us, by the way. We're leaving on the Celebrity Apex. We do more than drink. We have dinner together every night. There's shipboard activities that are exclusive just to our group. Shore excursions. In fact, I've been working on the shore excursions with Ian, our travel agent from Cruise and Travel Depot. We also have a lot of onboard activities planned. We're going to have dinner in a different dining room every night. On the Celebrity Apex, they have one dining room that's Italian, one that's French, one that's this, one that's, I don't even know what they all are, but every night we're going to eat in a different dining room. It's pretty amazing. We're going to have a great time. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. This is our 4th Steve Kane MAGA cruise. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex. Look up the Celebrity Apex online. It'll blow your mind. It is a luxury cruise ship, and there's very few children. There's less than 10 children on these cruises. Which I love kids, but it's nice to be on a cruise where there aren't kids all over the place, and it's very relaxing. We're going to have a great time. We're going to San Juan, Puerto Rico, the British Virgin Islands, and Tortola. And give Ian a call at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. This is our largest group that we've had on one of our cruises. We got this great MAGA cruise family that grows and grows on every cruise. And I need a vacation. Our last cruise, can you believe, because of the pandemic, got shut down. We haven't been on a cruise since 2019. Can you believe that? That's right. And this one is 2023, January 28th for 7 days. All right, callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group.
I don't usually drink like that. And then for that, I ran out of time. The rest of that story is, that was the first night of our 7-day cruise. I spent the next 5 days just drinking Evian water, because Evian water is included in the drink package too. I drank nothing but bottles of Evian water for the next 5 days. On the last night, we had a martini party on the last day, and then the last night we had a party. I had a few drinks then, but I just drank. Well, I was so well hydrated when we got back. The next morning, I was like, oh, I'll never do that again. I like tequila too, but I don't remember too much about it, but I remember the last shot I couldn't even swallow it. It was just, we had so many, one right after the other, and it's included, so you don't have to pay. Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing, Dee. Yeah, changing dining rooms every night was not an easy thing to do. They do not normally do that for groups because we have a big group. Margaritas, everything. It is fun. No, we did the first cruise, which was just a 4-day cruise, and I set it up so I could get a vacation because Steve doesn't give me any time off, and that's true. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, and everyone's so nice, because it's a cruise, so the people that go, you don't get the Al the John low-life types, you get like together nice people. And we have people coming in from all over the country. There's a whole group of people flying in together from California. San Francisco MAGA group coming. Hey, you're early.
Those are my hours.
Yeah. Well, you call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. He'll give you everything. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Some of the people you know go. PJ, he goes. You hear him call in sometimes. But most of the people that go, you've never heard call in.
Opinions are like apples. Everyone's got one. Get yours in. The Steve Kane Show.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 has begun, and every line on the board is lit. Wow, people are interested. All right, 1-888-GO. Kane 1-888-465-2631. Some of these people have been holding for a while, so I'm going to just go to the calls, and I'll bring up some other things as we move on. All right, good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
I have a tip for you. So I know that you like your coffee, and now you've tried tequila. Try Patron coffee. That's delicious.
I've not heard of Patron coffee.
Oh, good. But be careful. Be careful, because it sneaks right up.
Well, what I didn't share on the air, after that first night on the last cruise doing the tequila shot with the cops, you know, I had more tequila that night than ever. For the next 5 days, I drank nothing but Evian water, because the Evian bottled water is included in the drink package. I was the most hydrated I've ever been in my life. I drank nothing but water for days.
I'm a lightweight, so if I drink, I'll just order a double, but that'll last me.
Oh, sure. We do more than drink. I tell you, on our second cruise, I shouldn't even tell these stories, but just to tell you how crazy I don't get much time off work, you guys, okay? Right? I'm on the radio, got my podcast, I'm on YouTube, which is fun. I love what I do. Got great. So I don't get to unload very much. On our second cruise, my father-in-law went with me, and my daughter couldn't go at the last minute, so I asked my father-in-law, hey, come with me, it's free. I already paid for the cabin. And the first night, one of our listeners and I was talking to this one guy, nice guy, one of our listeners. We closed down the bar, and I left my room key in the bar, and I went to the room. I started to go to the room, and I didn't have my key. I couldn't get to my room, and my father-in-law was asleep. I didn't want to wake him up, so I went to the desk, and I said, I left my key in the bar, and I can't get into my room. And I said, can you give me another key? And they said, well, can I see your driver's license? I said, well, that's in the room. I don't have my wallet with me. I'm on the cruise. All I need is my room key. That's how everything's covered. And they said, okay, well, we can take you to the room, but we'll let you in, but you got to show us something to prove it's your room. We're letting you in. I said, okay. Next thing I know, 4 security guards come and walk with me to my room, because they want to make sure I'm not trying to break into someone's room. So I'm walking down the hall on the cruise ship. I got 4 security guards around me. A door opened. This is like 3, 4 in the morning. A door opens. It's one of our listeners, this lady. She opens up the door. She looks out. She sees me surrounded by security. And she says, oh, Brian, I'm sorry. And she shuts the door. And so the next day, I go up to her, and I said, I want to tell you what was going on. And she says, Brian, you don't have to tell me. That's your business. So I told her the whole story. She's like, oh, okay. I said, what did you think happened? That I gotten arrested? They were just letting me in my room. So I let loose a little bit on the cruise. I probably shouldn't. I don't know if this is good promo for the cruise or not, but it's fun.
Well, you have to have fun when you're on vacation. But that's actually not why I called. I called because I got these dream sheets. So I ordered Mike Lindell's Giza Dream Sheets.
Oh, yes.
They are beautiful. I'm ordering 3 more sets today.
Yeah, I have 6 sets, right? I've got 4 regular and 2 flannel. And I don't know what it is about this 100% Giza cotton. It perfectly regulates your body temperature. So whatever temperature it is in your room, you're always the perfect temperature. Like, I don't even need blankets.
Well, I put them on last night. The thing that I love about them is you don't like, I don't know how to say, you don't stick to them. Like, normally with regular, like, cotton sheets, you have to, if you're going to roll over, you have to get up and roll over. Like, they're beautiful.
Well, Giza cotton is the finest cotton in the world. And Mike Lindell's are 100% Giza cotton. Now listen, if you go to mypillow.com, these make great Christmas gifts. They're just $29.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout. $29.98. I paid a lot more for mine, and they were worth every penny, but right now you can get them just for $29.98 with our promo code Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Well, I appreciate that. Lots of good stuff. All right, take care, take care. Yeah, see, our callers and our listeners actually do commercials on the program, which is not, that's a real testament, right, to our great sponsors we have on this program. Let's go to this line. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian. It's Slick from YouTube.
Hey, Slick.
Hey, I'm sorry to be the buzzkill here.
All your calls are buzzkills, aren't they?
Apologize for that, but hey, look, I got to deal in reality.
Oh, okay.
So we have an issue.
Correct.
And I know a lot of people are upset about this. A lot of people are giving up hope because they don't really know what the future is going to entail. But if you want to look at and see what the future is going to bring, you have to look back to the past, because this is the major opposition party to the Democrat Party is in faltering, basically. In the 1850s, the Whig Party was the opposition party to the Democrats of the time, and they couldn't really get their act together. They were fighting against each other. You had Northern Whigs and Southern Whigs, and today what we have is the country club RINO establishment elite versus the everyman working class MAGA crowd.
And it's interesting that the leader of the working man wing of the party owns country clubs all over the world, but he's not good enough for the Republican Country Club group.
Well, that's because they can't buy him. The mega donors only like to have people who are capable of being bought.
Correct.
Trump is not capable of being.
He's an untouchable.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that he's untouchable. He's just he's part of the unwashed masses because he employed so many of them and gave them a living. But to the people who are upset about this, look, the future is not with the Republican Party. The MAGA Party needs to break away from the Republican.
Oh, that's insane.
It's stifling.
No, you're absolutely incorrect. Listen, it's going to take years for this to fully happen, but eventually we're going to win more seats in both houses. We're going to win people at the local level that are MAGA. And eventually, we're going to take back our party. It's going to take years, but it'll take fewer years than if we had a third. If we went third party, we would lose everything. We wouldn't win anything.
And we're already losing everything.
No, excuse me, we're not. We're not. We have a slim majority, but we've got the House. And a lot of the new House members coming in next month are MAGA Republicans. Here in Florida, Ron DeSantis, who's kind of on the fence whether he's MAGA or establishment at this point, but Ron DeSantis got a whole bunch of MAGA people elected at school board levels, where 2 woke Florida superintendents have already been fired here in Florida. No, the MAGA party is taking back the Republican Party. Not as fast as I would like, but it's happening. And starting a third party, we would lose all the governors and most of the Congress. We'd have a few fringe people.
So long as the money stays with the establishment who controls it, then the MAGA party is never going to be able to take back the Republican Party. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but
well, I'm going to disagree. I would agree with you if it wasn't for the Trump factor. The Tea Party back in 2010 was effective in one election cycle, but there was no leader. So it fell apart. It doesn't even exist anymore. I know there's a group in Martin County that's the Martin County Tea Party. They're like it, you know. But the MAGA movement has a leader, and a very charismatic leader, and we've got people to succeed him, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Don Jr.
I agree. Trump is definitely the one who could lead this third party, but he doesn't seem to want to do it just yet. However, I will tell everyone that when the primaries come in 2024, if you believe that the Republican Party is run by treacherous snakes like McConnell, you ain't seen nothing yet, because they will pull out all the guns.
Well, what they're gonna do is they're gonna not put him on some ballots. They're gonna say that he took part in an insurrection. They're gonna find a governor or state secretary of state that does not put him on a primary ballot because of January 6th. And that's what's going to happen. And that we're going to have to deal with that. If he gets the nomination, they'll go for a brokered convention before they let him walk away with the nomination. But hey, Slick, I gotta run for the break. But thanks for the call. No, he's always got good calls, even though he's a doom and gloomer. He's always depressed. But that's okay. I am a positive thinker. Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break and be back with your calls right after this.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show.
Okay, he is hearing. Oh, let me call him. I don't know if he'll answer. Oh, that's going to be on the air. How can I make a call off the air? Okay. And won't go through.
The Steve Kane 2023 MAGA Cruise is right around the corner. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex out of Fort Lauderdale. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. And then St. Kitts. With exclusive events just for our group.
Yeah, so what are you hearing?
Every night, cocktail parties, shore excursions, onboard activities, and a whole lot more. On the line is Ian.
While we're on the air?
Travel Depot. Ian, why should listeners book right now?
You know, I'm wondering if he's hearing things on Dean's board. Okay, I think you're hearing stuff from the other board. Dean's in here doing some more. Okay, we're looking into it. All right, okay, I'm looking into it. Oh, all right, bye.
We celebrate our president, Donald Trump. Make your reservation right now. 561-244-5779. No liberal stowaways allowed. It's the launch of Village Go-Go at the
Wow, Bruce just gifted 10 memberships. That is awesome. Hey, everyone, who got the memberships? Yes, Slick's call was very good.
Suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of
You'll
balance,
press one of the things he's playing and see if you can hear Skip's voice.
Is he playing it now?
Not yet.
We'll have to let's do it at the bottom of the hour because we got a long break.
Yeah.
754-222-6642.
Ready to get fired up? Just 60 seconds and you'll be racing for the phone. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Hey, by the way, did you guys know our radio stations, all of them at noon, are playing Christmas music all month long? I was actually listening yesterday. I got home. I stayed in my car in the driveway listening to the Christmas music. And you know what? They play good Christmas music. None of that Mariah Carey. That Mariah Carey song, and I don't know, none of that Bruce Springsteen song and that Mariah Carey Christmas song, they're not in the mix, okay? They play very good stuff. and I enjoy it. So every day at noon through Christmas on all of our radio stations, tune in to the Christmas music. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE. 1. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling? Oh, that's my fault. Let's try this one. Good morning. You're on the air. Where are you calling from?
Senator Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Man, it's supposed to be God, family, country, but unfortunately, it seems like it's party first. You got these Democrats who vote for anything as long as it's a Democrat name. This Warnock character was not half as good as Walker, but yet the Republicans don't get the message.
Well, okay. Do you have a homeowners association? Where are you, Tamarack?
No, I'm in Coral Springs.
Coral Springs. Do you have an HOA?
Unfortunately, yes.
Have you ever been to an HOA meeting?
Unfortunately, yes. Oh man, they're terrible.
I've been to 2 HOA meetings. Does your HOA meetings have a police officer there?
No.
Oh, mine does, and a lot of them do. And I know Richie the bus driver he had a similar experience at his HOA. And I think a lot of people can relate to in Florida. And the HOA, the police officers at the homeowners association meetings are hired by the HOA board. And they will arrest residents of the community if you speak out of turn. In fact, I went to one with my wife. My wife is on oxygen because of her disability. My wife is on oxygen. She's in a wheelchair, and the guy from the board says, if you talk out of turn, the police will arrest you. And I said to my wife, these guys are out of their minds. And the cop was standing right next to us. He says, I will. That's how we talk to someone on oxygen in a wheelchair, the cop. They're nasty. And what I realized, and he'll understand how this relates to what we're talking about. What I realized is the HOA, they view themselves as a separate entity. They have all kinds of deals. They're getting paid somehow. And those of us that pay the HOA dues, we're not supposed to have a voice or any input. And if you have any, you'll get arrested. And I know people in this audience here in Florida know what I'm talking about when it comes to your homeowners association meeting. And I've seen the police remove people from them who were good people that did nothing but ask a question. I'm serious. It's like Nazi Germany, okay? Well, that's how our government works in Washington. The people in Washington, this is their country, and we're just living in it. And they run the country, and that's it. And they got their deals, and we're not supposed to have a voice. And when President Trump came down the escalator, I am of the opinion that President Trump is the only president that was elected by the people that wasn't pushed on the people by a political party. And they lost control of something that they've controlled since we've had a country. And they're flipping out.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the scenario that we have here. But, I mean, there's a lot of voters came out. It was a pretty...
I saw a count this morning that showed Herschel lost by 100,000. I don't know what the latest is, but the last I saw, he lost by about almost 100,000.
What's wrong with the American people? Don't they...
Okay, I appreciate the call. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Brian, you're absolutely correct that President Trump was not part of the establishment, and they were totally ticked off that he could pull off a win like he...
Yeah, that's right.
We're absolutely correct about that guy saying that MAGA should break off from the Republicans. No, we should take back the Republicans and get rid of the RINOs and take us back to the Republican roots, because this is our Republican Party that we believe.
No, they don't. They don't believe that. It's their party, not ours. That's how they view it. Mitch McConnell and all the rest. Even Abraham Lincoln is looked at almost like a saintly figure. Right, and he did a lot of good things, and a Democrat killed him. Right, remember, John Wilkes Booth was the Alec Baldwin of the day, the actor that was a Democrat, but he was an attorney for the railroads, and he was a bit corrupt. He also had the Intercontinental Railroad bill, so he worked for like the Google of the day, the GM of the day. And so he was pushed by big donors and all of that onto the people. And slick with when the Republican Party formed, they had the railroad attorney behind them, Abraham Lincoln, right? It's a whole nother thing, you know. So no, we don't want a third party. That's a losing proposition. We're taking back our Republican Party, and I'm prepared to lose elections to do it. But we have to have we need to have a get out the vote organization, which we do not have.
Butts and out into the voting booths and vote.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we're losing these.
I mean, think about it. I want you to think about this, right? Early voting, we've been telling our people, don't do it, vote on election day. They've got 3 weeks, depending on the state, 3 weeks to a month where they're voting every day. We do it on one day. They're doing it on 21 days, maybe even more. And sometimes people get busy and can't make it. Like I got an appointment later this morning. I got to cancel it because something came up, and that happens. You know, this one day thing ain't working. If they were only voting on one, it worked in the past because we all voted on one day. But now that there's early voting, we need an early voting machine as well, like the Democrats have.
Voting should be the exception, not the norm.
No, but it is. It is. Well, you know, I don't live in the world of should, and it's there, and it's not going away. So we've got to use it. You know, it's just we've got to use it, and they use it, and we don't. There's other problems. There's other problems, and plus our people work. Most of the Democrats are like Al. He thinks he works because he's, you know, part of some Google session somewhere or so, I don't know, with his friends, you know, online. You know, our people get busy, have kids, have soccer, softball, a job. They got to get up tomorrow to work.
And since COVID, a lot of people are working out of their homes still.
Yeah, it's true.
Tells me they should be able to go vote.
See, here's the thing. We can't control what they do. That's why I say don't focus on all these other problems. We can only control what we do. And I know I sound like Tony Robbins, don't I? But it's true. I mean, this is how I live my life. My wife says I'm a control freak. Maybe I am, but I can only control what I can do. I can't control what they do. And what we can do is organize better. We do not have an election organization for the early voting, and even on election day we don't. They do. If you went to Georgia yesterday and you went to any black church in Georgia, there were buses and vans and cars driving people to the polls. We don't have that.
But we have the choice now to do something to ensure more voters get out for 2024, because we can't take our eyes off President.
Never.
Because he'll never leave us.
That's right. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. All right, great calls today. Callers on hold, stand by. We're coming up on the bottom of the hour break. Have you called Sloman's to get your free doorbell camera yet? You got to call them. It'll change your life. I was talking last week. I left my house. I was driving out of my development. I got a notification there was movement at the door. I took out my phone. My cat got out when I was taking out the trash. My cat's an indoor cat and got out. That would have been, I may have lost my cat forever, my last cat. You know, and that doorbell camera from Sloman's that you can get for free saved my cat, saved me. That was just last week. Came home, let her in. That was it. I would never have even known before until we couldn't find her. Listen, when you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. They'll tell you how you can get a free doorbell camera. The number 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. No matter where you are, give them a call. 833-283-5050. Get that free doorbell camera. You'll love it. I promise you. All right, we're going to take our bottom of the hour break. Callers on hold. Don't go anywhere. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
They're the most polarizing talk show.
Okay, let me get Steve on the phone because he may not answer right away. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everyone like the video. Okay, you there? Do you have your do you have your headphones on so you can listen? Can you go put them on? Because we're going to do a test here during this break. He's in the other room. He's going to go to. No, just don't worry about it. We don't have a lot of time, so we got to try to fix it. Just put them on and tell me what you're hearing. This way. Tell me what you're hearing. But tell me specifically what you're hearing. One thing? There's a traffic report going. Yeah, but we don't have a lot of time, so we can't putz around. All right, put the headsets. All right, you got to put the headsets on. And what do you hear? Well, I know. You should. There's like a traffic report going on. You're hearing multiple voices? Yeah. It's like mud. Hold on. We're trying to fix it, Steve. What do you hear now? We're trying to fix it. What do you hear now? What do you hear on the headphones now? Just one voice? I need to know what's on the headphones. I need to know what you're hearing on the headphones. Just one voice? One or two voices? Same thing, though. Or different things? Okay, it's okay now. He said it's okay now. Okay, that's what you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to hear. All right, let me know. All right, you ready to come on? Are you ready? Yeah. Well, I'm going to hang up the phone. I'm going to hang up the phone. Yeah. So what was it?
Probably. Well, it sounds like it was definitely Dean's voice recording from.
No, there was one of the other studios was feeding into Steve's. Steve is at a studio that is probably 60 miles from here, south of here.
Had to be.
Yeah, he was hearing what you were doing.
Skip's voice.
Yeah, that's your voice.
Yeah, plus me talking to him on the phone.
That's an issue because.
No, Vic, I forgot. He showed us the adjustment that was causing that. He can hear us, he can hear us during the breaks talking.
Yeah, if you have it in an OL.
I was about to say they found an OL there, maybe.
Well, if we turn off OL, can the callers hear me, and will Steve be able to hear me when we're on the air? That's what I don't know. He can hear us during the break talking with OL, but I don't know what happens on the air live if OL's not engaged.
That's what I was always told was if it's on OL, that's how they'll be able to hear us. Like
the callers.
Yeah.
But you turned OL off in there, or was it on previously?
The only thing I punched in that I can see is the Q. I've got Q, and there's no pots up or anything.
And OL's off on.
OL is off on.
It's on
everything.
Isn't it?
That red button is Q.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if it's. What did you? Oh my gosh! We'll have to talk to Don. Steve's hearing what they're doing in the production room, as well as me. So it's like loud mud.
I don't think that unless the callers hear that too, but
No.
they haven't said anything. So
No.
There's no way.
We'll find out. I'm not on the phone with him now. We're getting ready to come back. Are you uploading the podcast now?
So I edit it and edit it down, and then Ryan puts it up.
Oh, okay. Do you know what time they put it up?
It gets in, so probably around 10-ish.
Oh, okay.
When does Ryan
We'll,
usually get
we'll
here?
find out in a minute, live on the air.
When does Ryan usually get here to put the podcast on the website? Do you know?
This is weird because this hasn't been a problem all week.
Yeah. He usually is here by 8:30 because he would run the shows usually.
Yeah.
So he'll probably be here between 8:30 and 9 o'clock.
So like right after.
If it's a problem, I'll just let him go and I'll have him on the phone for the rest of the show today, and we'll figure. It hasn't been a problem the other days of the week, and you've all been in there doing things.
Yeah, but I haven't been running any audio.
No one's run audio in there all week.
Not while.
Oh, because that's a clone of this studio. That's the problem.
That's the problem. We got to be able to shut. We got to say this is the live studio.
Oh, I thought you were in there doing production all week, in the morning. Oh, yeah, we'll have to talk to Don.
No, I was just looking at some stuff that skipped.
Oh,
That needs to be.
yeah. Well, okay. When that studio's operational, you'll be doing that in here in the mornings? What you're doing in there now? So it'll be the same problem. Okay. I'm sure Don will figure it out. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating, of course, 45 years on the radio. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve.
I'm down to 1 ear.
There you go. That's perfect. We figured out what the problem is. We just don't know how to fix it, so that's okay. Well, I'm not the engineer. They have engineers here, Steve. Oh, yeah, right. Let's get your wife on the phone and see what she says about that.
Well, what can I say? Anyway, so I've got you in my headset now.
Well, that's what you want. All right, now we have some callers on hold, but let me just recap a little bit, and then we'll go to the calls for people that are just tuning in. I was talking at the top of the show at 6 why Herschel Walker lost, and it has nothing to do with Trump. Well, it's not Trump's fault. It has to do with Trump in that the Republican Party made sure that he lost because they want Trump to have a high-profile defeat so they can brand him a loser. And what I was talking about earlier in the program was this. We all know that the Democrats have a get-out-the-vote machine, right? The black churches picking people up, busing, they take part in the early voting and all of that. We don't have a machine like that, but the Republican Party does have a machine. But what the Republican establishment used the machine against Herschel Walker because they wanted Trump to have that defeat. And this is true in other races like in Pennsylvania as well. They want Trump to have defeats, so they make sure that it happens. I had a story yesterday we talked about towards the end of the show. The Republican lieutenant governor of Georgia said earlier this week that he went to vote and did not vote for Herschel Walker. I've never heard of a statewide party official announce that they did not vote for the nominee in another statewide race in any state, anywhere. It's unheard of. So that's why Herschel Walker lost. The Republicans made it happen so that they could brand in their mind Donald Trump is a loser. And Herschel Walker, Kerry Lake, and Dr. Oz are 3 losses. We have a lot of wins, over 100 wins, but they're high profile. So, and they're going to just focus. They may not talk about the Twitter files, but they'll talk about Trump being a loser today to try to get something going. So that's what I've been talking about and explaining how we can overcome that, et cetera, et cetera. But let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Barbara from Boca. Hey, I cannot get through to your station from Sir.
Yeah, well, things are updated. Things are being updated, and I did after your call yesterday. I actually announced how to listen to us online, but I'll do it while you're on the phone because maybe you didn't have the radio back on. Okay, if you go, where do you listen on iHeartRadio?
On all of the apps that I have set up.
Okay, if you go, okay, no problem, no problem. You know, a lot of people that are visually impaired listen to radio because radio is an audio medium. So that, on iHeartRadio, search for True Oldies FLA. You got it? True Oldies FLA. You can also listen on our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com. But if you're listening on iHeartRadio, True Oldies FLA, and we'll come right up. All right? Yeah, all right. No, I appreciate it. We're always here to help. All right, let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
All right.
Good morning, caller. Once. Twice. All right, that's it. All right, good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Barbara calling from Baltimore.
Barbara in Baltimore.
The eternal optimist, because I'm right with you. It had nothing to do with Herschel Walker. I was an election judge here in Maryland, and I called into other local shows, and while they were telling people not to do early voting, I called in and was, for the most part, dismissed by the host of one of the shows that I called in.
Yeah. Well, listen. I'll tell you where that came from. You know, President Trump was saying in the rallies, vote on Election Day, not early. And I'm sure Donald Trump knows more about these things than I know, and he's very well aware, and that'll be corrected in the future moving forward. But, you know, the MAGA movement is a new movement and has a lot of people in it that are new to politics and things like this and don't know how the system works. You know, you were a judge, so you know. Steve and I have been doing this for a long time, so we know. But a lot of people that are new, like I give you an example. I love Carrie Lake, right? I mean, she's like 3 on my list. Trump, DeSantis, Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake made an amateur mistake, a big-time amateur mistake. She told people, she said, Carrie Lake said, McCain Republicans, don't vote for me. I don't want your vote. Well, that's every Republican. That's every Republican in Arizona over the age of 30. Yeah. She said, we don't want the McCain Republicans. That's all. That's every Republican in Arizona over 30 or 35 years old have voted for McCain. And I get what she's saying. You know, we don't, you know, he was a jerk, but if she had some experience, she wouldn't have said that. Like, for example, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to expand on your point about the voting and the machine that.
Yeah.
So I was a Democrat much longer and an activist. And what you said about the buses and vans being at the black churches, absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct. And not only that, there was food there for them, some cigarettes, Newports and Cools on.
And by the way, why do you think? Yeah, you're in Baltimore. There's a lot of black churches, and why do you think the unions still exist? They have a similar outfit run, and we don't have any of that. We don't have any of that, and that's a big disadvantage.
Churches are one of the prongs in the Iron Triangle for locking down the black.
Mm-hmm.
And Warnock is the epitome of that. I mean, he is that. But just for those who are listening and preparing for 2024, it's time right now. I think a lot of the GOP heads, some of these chair people, they need to go, especially around starting at the top. Because you've got to get into, you got to do what's there. It's like what you said. They are utilizing the early voting. Democrats were out on the ground getting people door to door, going to them and telling them, get those mail. Have you done your mail?
Well, and another thing too is, you know, and this is all very constructive stuff that we can learn from moving. We can't change the past. We don't change what's going on in the future. You know, a lot of our MAGA brothers and sisters live in a MAGA bubble. They think everyone is MAGA. There still are Democrats out there, and there are more RINOs than we want to believe. Okay, we got to understand these are things we can overcome, but you can't whine about things in the past and not deal with what happened. You know, Warnock being a preacher, people don't know. And the black churches, they hand out the black voter guides. This is coast to coast. They tell you who to vote for, and they drive you there to do it. And they do it for a month.
understand what you're saying, but I'm saying this: the Republicans must take their message into the black communities. A lot of people think that Herschel Walker really campaigned very heavily in the black communities. He did not. Herschel Walker, running around with John McCain and Ted Cruz, they did a lot of stops, and yes, he did do rallies, somewhat rallies, but he did not go into the black community and tell them Raphael Warnock's position on abortion up to 9 months. He didn't tell them about putting the transgenders into the girls' bathrooms and boys. He didn't go into the...
See, Georgia is a black state, okay? And, you know, and yeah, and you can't ignore the black vote, and it's a church-going community. This way, you know, listen, Martin Luther King's Ebenezer Baptist Church is in Atlanta. They're very conservative on a lot of issues, the transgender gay issues and abortion, and these are mistakes, but, you know, I got to run for the break, but thanks for the call. All right, take care. A judge, I should call her Your Honor. All right, we'll take our break. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break, come back with your calls. 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
Wake up and smell the truth.
Oh, yes, I thought they were doing production in there all week.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, that is a problem.
If they kind of had an idea of what to make sure it doesn't.
Well, that other room is going to be a production room.
Yeah, the second.
That's the plan, right?
Yeah. Everyone doesn't have to keep overlapping each other.
Mm-hmm. Every line is lit, guys.
Steve should be able to hear the commercials, us.
I'm sure they'll figure it out like that. It's no problem.
Needs to be said once and all good.
Mike will know exactly what to do. They'll know it. It's no problem. But like we were saying, these two studios are clones.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's the issue.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West LA, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone, night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, we're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Hey guys, make sure that you like the video. There's more people in the room than I see likes. When you guys like the video, that helps me out a lot. It tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and my other videos to people that have not discovered me yet. So liking the video helps out a lot.
Had a great time.
Well, most of you have probably never been to a black church service. It's much different. I've been a couple times. It's they have, you go to these black churches, they have all the people that are running right there in the front of the pews, and they come up and talk and everything else. On Sunday during church, it's illegal, but they get away with it. And Georgia is where the black churches are probably most active out of every other state.
Do you know what Medicare options are available to you? Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080, and she will answer all your Medicare questions. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Smarter than 95,000 milligrams of B6.
What's today? Wednesday, right?
Get smart.
No. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve, you back with us? You sound like you're with it to me. Okay. We've identified the problem that you were having on your end, and I'm sure it'll be taken care of, I'm sure. All right, guys, welcome back. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Huge announcement from Anne Marie's. This is amazing. Now, we've been talking about the great homemade Italian food at Anne Marie's, and everything there is just so delicious. It's all homemade, right there with Grandma's recipes in the kitchen. Family owned and operated, Anne Marie's. They take such great pride in their food, and they're offering something great for the Christmas season. And this is spectacular. Listen to this. You go to Anne Marie's and spend $100, which goes a long way at Anne Marie's, especially with the oversized portions. Each dish I have is good for 2 people, and with some left over. But you spend $100 at Anne Marie's, they're going to give you a gift certificate for $20 for your next visit. That's amazing. You spend $100, they're going to give you $20 that you can use on your next visit. Now, when it comes to Christmas shopping, we have a few people in our family that love to eat. So we buy gift cards for restaurants. Any of you guys buy gift cards for restaurants? They are great gifts. It's a gift that doesn't get re-gifted, and it's a gift that's money well spent because they are going to use it. And there's a deal at Anne Marie's when you buy gift cards. And by the way, you can gift yourself a gift card too. Listen to this, Steve. You go to Anne Marie's and spend $40. You give them $40. They're going to give you a gift card for $50. So you get a $50 gift card for $40 at Anne Marie's. That's amazing. Listen to this. You buy a gift card for $80, they're going to give you a gift card valued at $100. So you spend $80 on the gift card, not eating there now. You give them $80, they're going to give you a gift card for $100. It's an incredible deal. Gift yourself or someone on your gift-giving list. And you employers out there, this is a great, great thing. You can get your employees gift cards for Anne Marie's at these great deals. It's pretty awesome. And this is a gift they will use, and they'll use it quick, I'm telling you. Anne Marie's is located on the northwest corner of Copens Road and US 1 Federal Highway in Pompano, in the same plaza as the movie theater. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Pretty good deal, Steve. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. All right, let's go. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning.
Yes, speak up.
Good morning.
Hey.
John.
Hey, John.
Beautiful Lakeland. Anyway,
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I've been to Lakeland. Beautiful. Beautiful is not a descriptor for Lakeland. I'm sorry. Beautiful is when you leave Lakeland. When you leave Lakeland, then you say, beautiful, I'm out of Lakeland.
Come on, Brian, stop, man. This is my hometown. But,
oh, I'm sorry.
Did you live there? Well, to you, the auto version of iHeart does not work.
Okay. Oh, I see. Well, it will be taken care of. We made a bit of a transition, so all these things are being taken care of. It's called growing pains.
As far as Herschel Walker goes, I know many people that unfortunately they just will not vote for him. I got a friend that he voted for the governor, but he would not vote for Herschel Walker, and his only reasons was basically associated with Trump, and that was basically it. And that's the way a lot of people that won't vote for Herschel Walker feel.
Why do they not like Trump? Why do they not like Trump?
I can point out everything that's going on bad with Biden and they'll just make up every excuse that it's not his fault, and all they can say is Trump's an idiot. And that's their whole excuse. It makes no sense whatsoever. No matter how much you try to explain it, their ears are just closed. They will not listen. He would not vote for Herschel Walker. I explained to him the problem with it.
Did it have? Let me ask you. Did it have anything to do with those abortion stories?
It had some of that to do with that, but when I explained to him, okay, you can't even prove it, yay or nay, either way, you can't prove it. And then as far as the Warnock stuff goes, I said all of this is documented to be true about it.
Well, okay. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, if I were working on that campaign, I would have done a commercial for Herschel Walker that I think would have been very effective. My mind just went blank. Who's the name of that young black child, teenager who was murdered years ago? They say because he whistled at a white woman, very famous. My mind just went blank. You know who I'm talking about? He was lynched. The famous lynching case. Who am I talking? I just forgot his name as I was about to say it. Oh my goodness. I almost, you know who I'm talking about, Steve? Emmett Till. Okay. Emmett Till. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's one of those, hey, listen, it's one of those, no, this is the commercial well, no, this is important. This is important, okay? I could have saved Herschel Walker's campaign. And this is the commercial I would have done. Those women that came forward with these lying stories that they had receipts for abortions, which I've never heard of before. The woman that came public with Gloria Allred was a white woman. And she was making these charges, these terrible charges against Herschel Walker, which was a modern-day lynching of sorts. Emmett Till, like many black men that were lynched, most of the... When I was in college, I was a history major, and I had to write a term paper in my senior year to graduate. That's one of those big term papers, right? Like almost like a thesis thing, you know, like a dissertation. And I did it on lynchings because there was a high-profile lynching down the street from my mother's house here in Fort Lauderdale back in the 30s by the Democrat sheriff of Broward County, so I could go there and research. So I did a whole thing on lynching. Most of the black men who were lynched because of an accusation made against them by a white woman, and including Emmett Till. Emmett Till was lynched because these Democrat racists wanted to kill a black guy. But when they got jammed up, they said, well, he was whistling at one of our wives, a white woman. I would have done a commercial with this woman that was with Gloria Allred, this white woman making these terrible lies, these slanders against Herschel Walker, and I would have done a transition with the white woman that got Emmett Till lynched. And that would have been a very powerful, emotional commercial that would have woken up blacks in Georgia. It may not have gotten him over the finish line, but he wouldn't have lost by 100,000 votes. He may have even won.
Yeah, I agree with you, but, one of the reasons, one of your callers said that, he did not speak to the basically black people or went around. A lot of times it's falling on deaf ears, and I don't know how much, resources he had to, use to go to some of these places to campaign, but I'm sorry to say this about my people, but we stuck on that plantation. We are stuck with that mindset that the Democrats are going to do things for us when they never do. And I just can't,
Well, there was a story last week about slavery reparations in California. There's another one out of New York today. A lot of black people, they've been brainwashed. They feel they're owed money, and they're going to get that money back in reparations and welfare and some government program. And Democrats like Warnock promised them reparations in one way, shape, form, or another, and that's pretty powerful. And we tell people, no, you got to work. They don't want to hear that. They're owed, especially Georgian blacks who probably are descendants of Democrat slave owners.
I'm just, like I keep saying, I feel sorry because, I am a landlord, and I got people that say, I don't understand why this stuff is so high because, I voted for this. Hey, You voted for it. That's why it is the way it is.
Let me tell you, you're in Lakeland, right? The headquarters of Publix, right? That's where Publix is head. Yeah, beautiful Lakeland. Yeah, right. It could be worse. You could be from Kissimmee, but you know, here's the. There's worse place. There's always Belle Glade, okay? There's always a worse place in Florida, as long as there's a Belle Glade. But where they walk around with machetes during the day on the streets. That's what the cops tell me in my neighborhood that work there. But anyway, back to this thing. My wife showed me the prices at Publix yesterday for eggs. It's like eating Kobe beef. I told her we're not going to have eggs this week. It's too expensive. It's just crazy. You know, and the reason that the prices are high, it's by design. They're trying to break the middle class, make you poor and dependent on the government, so that we'll comply and not support MAGA. You know, the inflation is not an accident. It's part of the plan to stop Trump, because people are broke. But I'll tell you this, though, because you're black and you're talking about the black vote in Georgia. I remember as a kid that the United Negro College Fund, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and they would show the slaves reading the books in the cabin, and the Democrat Klansmen would come up and they'd hide the books, remember? You know, the problem is now blacks are reading, but they're reading what? Whatever Rachel Maddow says, or Jake Tapper. They're listening to the wrong people. They're reading the wrong news. They read the Huffington Post. They watch MSNBC. They watch CNN. They don't know what's going on. You know, they're being brainwashed.
And that's my friend. He watches those particular news outlets, and if you say anything about anything else, he says, "Oh, you just listen to everything Fox got to say." I say, "No, not really. I do not."
Yeah.
I can't explain it. It just makes no sense. He's suffering. I mean, with the fuel issue. I mean, it just.
Oh, tell me about it. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. All right, take care. All right. Caller from Lakeland, Florida. Oh boy, have you ever been to Lakeland, Steve? Really? They let Jews go to Lakeland now?
I have not spent any protracted amount.
Well, that's because you're a smart New York boy. All right, listen, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631.
WWNN Pompano Beach. WI.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Gas prices are going down. Well, they went high, so going down, they're still high.
Always trying to make it sound like, oh, it was from $3.49 to
Exactly.
$10 now. Like, it was $2 maybe
Exactly.
years ago. I hate that.
That was a very good call. Full board of calls. I showed everybody in the first hour. I want to show you guys. One of our YouTube watchers has a book he's asked me to promote. It's called The Divided Stories of America. One of our YouTube watchers. It's on him. It's available in Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. Pretty conservative book, as you can tell. If you read the description, you'll see there's a link to it. I pinned it in the chat, and there's a link in the description of the YouTube video if you're watching later. But I pinned this right to the top of the chat. Click that link. Check it out.
Congestion and cough. Nothing lasts longer among OTC cough and cold medicines. Use as directed. That's traffic. I'm Chris Ball.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
ABC News Now, I'm Mark Pamela. Democrat Raphael Warnock headed back to the Senate after he's the projected winner of Tuesday's Senate runoff race in Georgia, defeating Republican Herschel Walker.
In the runoff as in the midterm itself, barely a percentage point separated incumbent Raphael Warnock and challenger Herschel Walker, and it was Republican Walker giving the concession speech.
There's no excuses in life, and I'm not going to make any excuses now because we put up one heck of a fight.
At Warnock headquarters,
God bless you! Keep the faith! Keep looking up!
Walker spent a combined $70 million on the race. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Atlanta.
Democrats will have 51 votes in the Senate to Republicans 49. The U.S. Senate, meanwhile, unveiling their draft of a military spending plan. It includes a Republican initiative to end the military's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. A jury finding the Trump Organization guilty on all charges in an alleged tax fraud scheme to compensate some executives under the table. This is ABC News.
Get everyday banking with a better vibe. A vibe that feels like you woke up on the right side of the bed, found the perfect parking spot, or found your keys where you left them. Get the NetSpend All Access account. Reinventing modern, everyday mobile banking with perks that add up. Banking services provided by Pathward NA. Get started today at netspend.com. Deposit account is established by Pathward NA.
Oh, I wanted to listen to the iHeart app. I'll do that during the next break. Because I listened yesterday and the iHeart app was working. Let's see. It's working.
The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We are back. You with us, Steve? All right. Well,
I'm watching that.
well,
Things get worse and worse and worse and worse till finally they get so bad the public wakes up and rises up and creates the change that we all yearn for. And I just almost reached a point last night where I began to feel like we're too far gone. Like there are two big issues, like in my mind, the refugee thing at the border problem, which if you're not disgusted by the way the border's been handled up till now, there's something wrong with you, because I mean it's up.
Yeah.
Catastrophe with terrible implications for the future of this country. So that's one, and the other is what's going on in the city, the war that's watched last night. They had footage, I think it was from Philadelphia, of a gas station. Did you see that footage?
I did.
The guy brought he's hired an army to protect the people that are stopping for gas. I mean, they've got these heavy-duty automatic weapons to protect the customers. It just gets worse and worse. There's like no bottom to it. And I started to feel last night like if they haven't wised up by now, maybe we're too far gone as a country. I can't believe that, when I figured I didn't expect everything to be accomplished in the last election, not the big election we had.
Steve, you forgot we took back the House. You act like we're losing everything. We fired Nancy Pelosi as no longer Speaker because of Trump. You guys keep forgetting that because the media don't want to let you remember it. I mean, let me say something though. I want to say something about this gas station in Philadelphia. I saw this, the armed guards at the Philadelphia gas station. That is so dangerous, people have no idea. Gasoline fires are caused by sparks. If you threw a book of matches on gasoline, the dampness would probably put them out, okay? But a spark is what ignites gasoline, and sparks are what you get with guns, especially high caliber ammo. You do not want people guarding gas stations with guns. That thing in Philly, that's insane. But
that's what's going on.
It's like, gasoline, it's like the Road Warrior with the gasoline. It's so expensive now. Yeah. Well, listen, every line on the board is lit, Steve. I don't know, something we said has people interested. Joyce Galpin, you could take a lesson here. All right, good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian Lewis from beautiful Plantation.
Oh.
Hey, listen, last caller from beautiful Lakeland. I agree with him. It's courageous that he speaks up, and I could tell he's a black man from what I surmise in his conversation and so forth. I think the black population that did vote for Warnock, they're expecting something in return, these reparations and things of that sort that are being spoken about. And it's kind of, I liken it to these students that think that their student loans are somehow going to miraculously vaporize and disappear by forgiveness. I think they got gypped also, and they're realizing that now. I think the policy that Democrats have of robbing Peter to pay Paul, it doesn't work.
Well, this thing about, okay, let me tell you, this thing about reparations, all of us, that used to be a big thing, and it went away. And the reason you're hearing, it's like East Coast, West Coast. They got California reparations, now they got New York reparations. By the way, New York and California were both free states. They were not slave states. I don't know why they would owe reparations to anyone. That's not where the slaves were. But forgetting about reality, yeah, it's true. Especially California, because during that era it was part of Mexico and Spain and all that jive. When it became a state in 1850, it came in as a free state under the Missouri Compromise. But anyway, what's going on here is the Democrats have lost big chunks of the black vote. So all of a sudden, remember Rush used to say Democrats only have they have the same old plays from that same old worn out playbook. Rush used to say this all the time: reparations. And that you're hearing about reparations to try to get blacks to come back home to the Democrat Party. And Steve and I were, a number of years ago, there was a black radio station that did talk. And Miss Ivy and Jean Jabwin, this guy had, Jean Jabwin pretended to have a Haitian accent, a Jamaican accent, but he sounded like me, except when he was on the air. It was a black station, and it was very liberal. And Steve and I used to go over there as guests in studio and take them on with their callers. And every day they had one topic: reparations. And Steve said to them, I don't know why you guys keep talking about reparations. It's never going to happen. It was dead air. They looked at us in stunned silence, and then they said, how dare you even say that? We are owed. And there was like sacrilege telling. So, listen, I'll take a check from the government if they mail it to me for $230,000. I'll cash it and I'll have a good time. But I don't think I'm owed. But they really do believe, black Democrats throughout this country, that they are owed. Listen, Democrats have changed the definition of American. Do you know what an American is by the Democrat definition? What is an American?
By their definition? Mm-hmm. And everything un-American.
No. Well, that's true. No. And this is true. What I'm telling you is true. The Democrats believe what makes you an American is if you were either born in North or South America. We're not United Statesians, we're Americans. So if you're born in Bolivia and you're in South America, you're an American. If you're born in Canada, you're an American. And the reason they've done that is to justify coming to America. You think they've got so many schemes going on, man, the Democrats.
Then you interjected the border real quick, and I'll close. I think I was scanning the TV or whatever, and I saw that Biden was about 100 miles away from the border. And a reporter asked him, hey, you're only 100 miles away. Why don't you visit the border? And he replied something to the effect of, we got other important stuff to do, or something to that effect. And it was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
That was Steve Ducey. And the follow-up question is, what's more important than, I saw Biden the Thanksgiving week with his family. They went out shopping. And I saw Biden just out with his family walking down the sidewalk. And it was Thanksgiving week. He was completely spaced out and checked out like I've never seen him before.
Point. No matter how bad it gets, people can keep buying this crap. And no one wants to wake up and smell the coffee or smell the roses.
Hopefully a Democrat listener calls your show and gives some interjection on what they...
Yeah, all right. Appreciate the call. Good calls today, by the way. Our number, 888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We're in holiday time. Christmas parties, New Year's, Valentine's coming up. And this is a time of year that's a rough year for a lot of people because you see people you haven't seen in a year or 5 years or 10 years. And people know they don't look as good as they used to. That's called life. But we have a solution, and any lab test now of bokeh has expanded right next door to Forever Youth. And they're offering everything you need to look like you did last year and 5 years ago and maybe even 10 or 15 years ago. They, of course, have all those dermal fillers. They have Botox. They have Juvederm and all of that. By the way, 20% off if you mentioned you heard about them on the radio. But they have this one super cool thing, Cool Sculpting Elite, which is FDA approved. And what it does everything liposuction does without that violent, invasive surgical procedure. It's totally non-invasive and there's no downtime. And what Cool Sculpting does, it does a couple things. First, it permanently freezes away your fat cells. And that's it. You only have a certain number of fat cells in your body. Once they're gone, they're gone. So it freezes them away, but they also reshape your body so you have the physique that you want at the same time. And it works on all areas of body fat, stomach, guts, the arms, the neck, back, wherever you got fat, it works. And again, this is right next door to Any Lab Test Now of Boca. The Mitch McConnell neck. Yeah. Give them a call, 20% off if you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. 561-717-8081. 561, let me get, you're talking over the number, Steve, most important part. 561-717-8081, 561-717-8081, and online foreveryouth.com. All right, real quick. Oh, years, yes.
And they've been sponsors of the years, and they're people you can trust and that will do a great job for you and make you beautiful and slim and, what's the word, chisel.
Yeah, that's right. So give them a call, 561-717-8081. Back after this.
The Steve Kane Show, telling it like it is, whether you like it or not.
Hear that music? That means it's Christmas shopping. That seemed a little different, didn't it?
Your Christmas shopping, there's no better.
Yeah.
Prices ever on top MyPillow products. Right now, order your MyPillow My Slippers for $90 off in all sizes and colors.
Telling it like it is, whether you like it or not.
It cut off the like. Yeah.
It cuts off the whole ending.
Maybe they did it for a reason. Or just didn't.
Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of it with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order over the phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Eddie from Uncle Eddie's Restaurant in Jupiter. Season is here. Now it's time to eat real, authentic Italian food. The key to a great restaurant is consistency, and that's what I provide. And the other places, cooks come and go every year, but at Uncle Eddie's, the chefs are trained by me.
So it must be working in there. Partially.
Has to be in some way.
So stop going to those boring fugazi joints. Come down to Uncle Eddie's where you have great food and a great time. As far as music goes, Wednesday night.
But I don't know if Steve is, though. That's the thing, because I can't talk to him right now. No.
Well, play it again.
And Sunday night, the best night of all. Sing along with Uncle Eddie, hosted by Mike McGann. Uncle Eddie's located at 1250 US 1, just north of Donald Ross Road. 561-508.
Has to be something maybe in there, on our board per se, but there's...
Well, they probably... I'm sure that if they haven't, they will. They have Steve connected there because I'm going to pull him up through there.
That would make sense. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would
That's
probably
why.
be it, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Meals, pharmacy, supplies, and groceries, as well as rides to and from anywhere. Come join the launch of Village Go-Go. It all happens today, December 7th from 1:30 to 4:30 at Sonata of Delray Beach. Sponsored by Sonata Senior Living of Delray. Elite Senior Home Care. Elite
I'm sure there's a workaround.
They got it.
We'll find out because Steve, we don't know if he heard it. We're going to find out real quick.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock.
Where are you at, Lisa? Where are you visiting from?
Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Grab your coffee and get ready to be triggered. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You with us, Steve? Okay, good. All right, welcome back, everyone. I think we figured well, not me, but others figured out the problem we were having with you because you're not having it now. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Every line on the board is lit, so let's just take some calls. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey there, it's Lisa in Texas.
Hey.
Lisa.
Hey, good morning, Steve. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Bruce,
Listen,
wow, that's awesome.
you were
Thanks.
talking about earlier, Brian, about the ground game changing. And I was listening to the Bannon's War Room, and Harmeet Dillon is going to be running for the RNC leadership role, and her plan is exactly that. We've got to change up. We've got to get a ground game going. We've got to get out there early with the votes, just like the Dems. You know, you got to.
Well, okay, but here's part of it, Lisa. The Republican establishment have all that already. The MAGA wing does not. And if you look through, we had a lot of victories this time around, lost some high-profile ones. But what Republican establishment high-profile person lost their election? Do you know who they are? In the Senate or the House, what high-profile Republican lost? None. So they have a machine. No, Carrie Lake. No. She's MAGA. I'm talking about Republican establishment. No one, and the entire House was up for re-election. So they were all up. Every Republican establishment person got their seat. The Republicans already have an operation like the Democrats, and they used it for their Republican establishment people. They didn't use it for the MAGA Republicans. It's a misuse of resources. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm missing. Okay, well, thank you.
What's is that a problem without a solution?
They keep electing MAGA Republicans, and eventually we'll take over at all levels. You know, I mean, eventually we'll be the establishment.
Yeah, that's what we have to do. We just have to keep at it. We can't give up. And listen, hey, do you ever watch Epoch Times?
Of course, yeah. I think it's Epic Times. Everybody says it different ways. It's Epic Times, I believe.
They do. I never know which way to say it either, but the Final War documentary is amazing, and I was happy that I knew more than I thought I knew, and there was still a lot I didn't know. So the Final War, it's a great documentary. Everybody needs to watch.
Yeah, and the Epic Times, I've seen them at every Trump rally I've been to the last few years, and run into them at Mar-a-Lago a few times. So they're good guys. All right, hey, listen, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Joseph from Parkland. Good morning.
Hey, Joseph.
I was just calling to comment on the election, Warnock and Herschel Walker. You know, I see this as just another one more time. You know, concerted effort. They realized exactly how many votes they needed.
That's not what happened in Georgia. That is not what happened in Georgia. I had a call. That's not what happened in Georgia. I had a caller. A lot of things happened. I've been talking about them since 6, but I'll just go over one or two with you now. I had a call from Georgia earlier in the show, and he said the radio and television has been blanketed with Warnock commercials. He hasn't seen a single Herschel Walker commercial during this whole period. The Republican Party pulled out of Georgia. They didn't support him. These other things, that you're talking like a Democrat. That's all victim stuff, what was done to us by the other side. No. Herschel Walker lost. No, it's not what happened. The Republican establishment did this. Do you think Mitch McConnell is happy or upset that Herschel lost and the Democrat won?
obviously he's happy.
So you've got the Republican leader in the Senate, who's Republican establishment, who is happy that the Republicans didn't take the majority in the Senate. The Republican Party worked against Herschel Walker and made sure he had no support and lost. Keep electing MAGA Republicans and eventually we'll be the establishment. That's it. The long road. No, nope. That's all. How long have you been a Republican? All your life. Well, you talk like a recovered Democrat, because a lot of our MAGA brothers and sisters are ex-Democrats, and they got a lot of that victim head still going. It's like an alcoholic, guy recovers from alcohol, and every once in a while he stops in a bar and gets sloshed, and a lot of... They're doing a lot of things with them, but that's not what happened in Georgia.
Republicans picked a Speaker of the House yet?
No, it's still up in the air. The vote's not till January 3rd. So, it's up in the air. All right, let's take some more calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once, twice. All right. They're getting upset with this now. And I'm sorry to tell you, well, they don't want to hear what I'm saying. And if you don't want to hear what I'm saying, we're going to continue to lose, like with Herschel Walker. Okay? The Republicans made sure that he lost. They gave him no money. They gave him no ads. They gave him no support. Nothing. Because Herschel Walker's loss is being reported today as a Trump loss. If you remember, they kept telling Trump, don't announce you're running until after Herschel, because they knew it was going to be a loss, and they wanted him to have a loss to have to deal with to try to stop him from announcing he was running. That's what's going on here, guys. I'm sorry to tell you. And I know people don't want to hear this, but these are things we can fix. We're not liberal, whiny victims where things are done to us. We're winners, not losers. I mean, these people are right. I'm getting a little aggravated, quite frankly. I mean, we got to be honest with ourselves. But I'll tell you this. If you're suffering from pain, well, yeah, that means you haven't called Dr. Philip Appleton. Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment is amazing. He's rid me of 2 types of pain. First, my knee, which was from my skateboard accident, I'd suffered from for years. And I thought I was going to have that pain for the rest of my life. 2 treatments with his laser away pain treatment. The pain was gone. I had relief after 1. Right? I had a treatment on a Thursday, went back on a Saturday for the second one. I woke up Sunday morning pain-free. And the pain hasn't returned 4 months ago. Then about a month ago, I went in. I was having pain in my knuckles. And he examined me, told me I had arthritis. He gave me the laser away pain treatment. After 1 treatment, the pain is gone. The arthritis pain is gone, and it hasn't returned. Now, the laser away pain treatment works on all kinds of pain. Sciatica, tinnitus, knee pain, any joint, chronic pain, acute. If you're fibromyalgia, if you're suffering from pain, Dr. Appleton can help. Also, when you go in for your laser away pain treatment, free acupuncture if you choose. I didn't have acupuncture on my knee. I had it on my finger with that treatment because I wanted to experience it so I could tell all of you about it. And he's a maestro with the acupuncture. I'm here to tell you his laser away pain treatment, it works. It worked on me twice in 2 different parts of my body on 2 different types of pain. And it'll work on you too. Give him a call, 954-973-0710. Dr. Appleton is open 6 days a week. Day 6, of course, is Saturday. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome because Dr. Appleton knows when you're in pain, you need relief, you need help, you need it now. So appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins welcome. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio to take advantage of the no-charge consultation. Oh, yeah, if you have x-rays, bring them. He'll take a look at them, too. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. Come back. I got some other topics to bring up, but we'll also take more of your calls at 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve is here. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and come back with much more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Tired of boring mornings? We serve controversy with your morning.
All right.
You know, saying that ending wasn't supposed to have that 9. It was supposed to be just that first part, so they're going to check that.
Whatever.
That was, yeah.
It just threw me off because I was...
Wasn't expecting that either.
But they're in there working and it's not a problem, right? So now you're in there working, it's not a problem? You found out what it was? Really?
We played it in Q like I was a few minutes ago. We played it in Audition.
I heard it in his headphones when I was on the phone with him. I had him put the headphones up to the phone. I could hear it. Isn't that weird? Well, it's working now. That's all that matters. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Morning 6 to 9.
Oh wait, no.
Oldies traffic check.
Palm Beach Expressway got crashed free at this time, but we're still seeing delays on 95 for the northbound from J3 Beach to La Boca. 95 northbound and southbound is going to be slow passing Lake Worth Road, and to the south it's going to be slow from Lake Worth Road.
Has to be this one.
Avenue. Turnpike is also pretty slow approaching Southern Boulevard.
If you just hit the headphones, it'll play. In Q automatically.
Broward County, a multi-vehicle crash on Commercial Boulevard. Incident on the Turnpike heading northbound just before Griffin Road is off the We're still seeing stop.
The Steve Kane Show, telling it like it is, whether you like it or not.
Oh yeah.
That's 3 times longer than for chest
Uh,
Nothing lasts longer among OTC.
7808.
7808. Okay.
That's traffic.
Thank you.
Yep.
Concealed weapon permit classes, new license security classes offered weekly. Call Mike Warnock today for all your firearm and security patrol service needs. Protect yourself and protect your business. Call 561-723-6191. That's 561-723-6191. Eagle Eye, local security protection services.
The Steve Kane 2023 MAGA Cruise is right around the corner. We leave January 28th on the Celebrity Apex out of Fort Lauderdale. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. And then St. Kitts. With exclusive events just for our group. Fine dining together every night. Cocktail parties, shore excursions, onboard activities, and a whole lot more. On the line is Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Ian, why should listeners book right now?
I blocked this group space during COVID during the height of the pandemic.
I'm just reading through a few articles we're going to talk about in the last half hour.
Right now and lock in your cabin. 561-244.
Bruce Rice, that's amazing.
561-244-5779. Join us as we celebrate our president, Donald Trump. Make your reservation right now. 561-244-5779. No liberal stowaways allowed.
Hi, this is Maureen Cohen from Nutrition World Palm Beach Gardens. We are so excited to be celebrating 50 years here in South Florida. The Cohen family started their first health food store in 1972, and ever since have been one of the largest locally owned family-run health food stores in the area. We carry thousands of supplements like vitamins, minerals, herbs, homeopathic, diet and fitness, and so much more. All your favorite top-quality brands. We also have tons of natural foods like gluten-free, paleo, and organic, as well as health and beauty aids, pet foods, and more. Visit Vanessa, Trish, Denson, Scott, and Bruce. They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
This is Lori King. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
It's the launch of Village Go-Go at the Sonata Senior Living Sock Hop in Delray Beach. Get familiar with senior resources like like home care, medical equipment, legal services, and more. Village Go-Go is a rides and delivery membership club offering delivery of meals, pharmacy, supplies, and groceries, as well as rides to and from anywhere. Come join the launch of Village Go-Go. It all happens today, December 7th from 1:30 to 4:30 at Sonata of Delray Beach. Sponsored by Sonata Senior Living of Delray, Elite Senior Home Care, Elite Medical Supply, Vet Force One, Life Law Planning Group, and Village Care Florida. Come by and get a free root beer float on us, and oldies will be there.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plum, tender and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Central Road.
Yes. Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. You with us, Steve? All right, everything is moving. Our number 1-888 Go Kane 1-888-465-2631. You know, after the show yesterday, we were talking about this Good Morning America sex scandal. And I guess it has you interested because it's a sex scandal, and that seems to always get you interested in things.
I mean, it's very, very interesting. I mean, it cuts to all this stuff about why you can't have sexual relationships when you work for a big company because it creates all kinds of morale problems. And it's interesting to watch.
Well, no, I don't think anyone should watch Good Morning America because we're on the radio when that's on television, and this is just another reason to listen to the Steve Kane Show. However, no, these two people are lowlives, Steve. They're both married to other people, not each other, and the guy was apparently involved with something sexual with another girl that worked on the show. So, yeah.
TJ, what's his name?
I don't know their names.
TJ, I think is.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a guy and a girl, so yeah, the Good Morning America duo.
But the guy has had several other affairs with members of the state.
That's right.
Is involved in this behavior in a chronic.
Well, let me tell you why I brought it up. Let me tell you why I brought it up, because I was listening to this. I've heard this story for a while, and I'm typically not interested in this kind of stuff. No, the Good Morning, and gossip with celebrities on Good Morning America, I just don't care. But I was listening to the report on Fox, and I heard something that piqued my interest. They had on, pretty funny guy, this was yesterday, what's that guy's name, Joe Concha? You know what I'm talking about, Joe Concha? Okay. So they have, Joe Concha he's a talking head on Fox, and he's very funny, and they bring him in to give analysis, which is usually spot on and sometimes humorous, and he makes some interesting points, Joe Concha. And he was on yesterday, late in the morning. They brought him on to comment on this Good Morning America sex scandal, and Joe Concha said something that caused silence among the host in the studio with him, and it was very interesting. He said they're two television personalities. They were having sex with each other. This is what Joe Concha said. They're having sex with each other, and they're married to other people, and they've been suspended until management figures out what to do about it. And Joe Concha talking, and he said, I don't know what there is to figure out. He says, this is normal in this business. And then there was silence with the anchors, and one of them was, I think it was Dana Perino, and I forgot the guy she goes with. So that tells me that there's some hooking up going on with the Fox News crowd, and Joe Concha just let the cat out of the bag, and they were not happy when he said that. I don't know who's having sex with who on Fox News, but some people are.
For a big company.
Yeah. Well.
talk. Everybody seems to be running around. It seems to become the major focus of attention in the building, and that's a big building. So.
Well, no, I don't think it's good at all. In fact, the only person I know that's done something like that at Fox is Jesse Waters was having an affair with the behind the back of the mother of his children with a producer on his show. And if you remember, Jesse Waters he told this story on The Five. Remember this a few months ago? He slipped. I love live TV. It's like live radio. You listen to enough live radio, you watch enough live TV, people are going to say things that they would not say if it was recorded. Except in my case, because I don't care. But I don't do things like Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters said on The Five that he let he went out to the parking garage early because he wanted to hook up with this girl. He wanted to have an affair with this woman. So he went out to the parking garage, let the air out of her tires, and waited in the garage like a stalker for her to come out, and then he came in and rescued her while his wife was at home taking care of his children, drove her home, and they sent him on a Foxcation for a week, and then he came back, but he flattened the tires, waited for her in the parking lot, came in and rescued her, and then the affair began. And so that's, but I don't think Joe Concha was probably referencing Jesse Waters, but I think there was somebody else that he was referencing to. It was a funny moment, and I don't know how much they're going to carry of this in the future. Have a right to have an affair? I mean, well, now they are. Well, when you are an anchor on a program like that, you have a certain image that you are giving to the viewer, and if you do something scummy like that and turn out to be a person of low moral character, you're damaging the ABC brand, and
both of them are split from their.
Because of this, they're still married. They're separated now. No one's stopping them, but they've damaged the brand of ABC, so they're out. This happens all the time with people. I don't know. Who watches that anyway? Like I said, they're not on now, but they're on when we're on the air. Who would watch Good Morning America when they could listen to us talk about Good Morning America? I guess. I don't know why anything's on. Most things that are on TV right now, it's got to be dead air. They're just killing time until Steve Kane Show goes off. All right, our number is 888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. But now I thought that was just a little funny thing that Joe Concha slipped out. I love when you get a little slip like that on live television. Also, just one last thing on this Idaho case where these kids were murdered in Idaho, because there's been a lot of updates on this.
They're not making sense to me. What am I missing here?
What doesn't make sense to you?
Well, I don't understand what the big discovery they've made.
There's no big discoveries, okay? A couple things are going on with it. I'll tell you what they are real quick. Call is on hold. Stand by. We'll get to the calls here shortly. The Idaho case is a college town. And that house, when you see that house on television, it looks like it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's like right next door to the university. And Rush Week is coming up. I saw, the father that's been doing all the interviews of the one girl. He said that they would not let them put up posters throughout the town because they thought it would interrupt Rush Week. And, no, I'm serious. Well, I remember when your friend, he wasn't your friend yet, but Danny Rawlings. A lot of people don't know this about Steve. Steve, many years ago in another life, was a collector of serial killer artwork, collected the artwork of... Yeah. No. Ugh. Danny Rawlings was the Gainesville killer. And I remember when that was going on, a lot of my friends, they left. They left the University of Florida. Many of them transferred to Florida State, but many of them came back home until it was killed. So what a lot of people believe, when you're in a college town like that, the college has a lot of control over everything that goes on in the town, and they have been slowing the investigation down. And because they don't want to be the next, they don't want to have the next Gainesville serial killer going on. I was shocked they would not, they wanted to put up posters. If you have information, call this number, there's a reward. They wouldn't let them put reward for information posters up in the town. The college thought it would make people not want to join the fraternities and sororities for Rush Week. I saw him say that on TV the other night. That's disgusting. But that's what it is. They're afraid they're going to have another Gainesville serial killer incident, and they don't want to do that. And so they slowed down the investigation. There was an update, and I heard Nancy Grace talking about this. And it was interesting. There were these two creeps that were trying to pick up women at a grocery store who approached the one girl. And Nancy Grace was going through some other details of these guys and some others. She says the police have been dismissing suspects too fast. That these guys from the grocery store should have been looked at pretty long and hard, and they've been completely ignored. So there's a lot of problems going on up there. But mostly, it's again, colleges, universities cover up crimes all the time. Look at Parkland. We got a call from Parkland earlier. Remember, the school was covering up, this monster that went on to be the Parkland shooter was threatening to kill kids at the school long before, and he was a free kid, and he went on to do this. Schools are always covering up dangers and crimes. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break, come back with the Gold Report. Callers on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Our number, 888-GO-KANE-1. We'll be back with the Gold Report right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian, and on the line we have William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Metals looking good after closing mixed yesterday. We have a nice rally going on this morning. Yesterday we saw gold close or trade in a range from 1767 all the way up to 1782 before closing at 1771.20. That was still up $2.10 on the day. While silver got up to $22.71 yesterday, could not hold those gains and closed down 7 cents to $22.17. Platinum was down $10 at $9.87, and palladium closed down $34 at $17.67. This morning we got gold up to $17.79 right now. That's up $7.80. We keep getting up to that higher end of the trading range around that $17.80, and then the market seems to sell it down a little bit. But we'll see if it can break through that $17.80 today and stay above $17.80. Maybe get us into a new trading range of $17.80 to $1,800. We'll see. Silver right now $22.50, up 33 cents. Platinum up $18 at $1,005. And palladium up $13 at $1,780. The dollar is weaker again today.
Yeah. Now, William Youngerman, you don't just sell the metals, you also buy them. And, of course, you buy the metals we often talk about, the coins, the bars, and everything else. But what are some other things that people have that are made of the metals that they could turn into cash money or maybe turn it into coins or bars?
Certainly. Just about anything of collectible interest we would buy. From old paper money, watches, jewelry of any kind made out of the precious metals, or maybe you've got a watch that's been sitting in a pocket watch that's been sitting in a safe deposit box for years that was Grandpa's. Bring it in, we'll give you a free appraisal. The other collectibles and any kind of old coins. And of course, we have a foreign exchange department if you've come back from a trip and you need to get rid of or you need to buy anything to go on a trip.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I see people there all the time, both ways. They're getting ready to go on vacation, or they got back and they have foreign currency, and they want to get rid of that foreign currency and turn it into USD. Listen, William Youngerman is located in Boca. His address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call. He opens up weekdays at 10 a.m. Toll free, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. 5010. All right, William Youngman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, back after this.
With Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve is here. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Al.
Al.
FBI raid.
There's another FBI raid? You know, if they keep raiding all of his places, maybe they'll eventually find something. Like, really? What kind of documents?
There's a cousin who's in the NSA. Okay, Trump could have sold his name to the Russians. You don't know.
This is interesting. So, you have a cousin who works for the NSA and has a security clearance that's giving you classified information about. Well, that's a crime, Al. You don't have security clearance, do you?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have it. At one time you did. Give me a break. You don't have it now. So you have, this is interesting. Your cousin at the NSA with top secret security clearance is passing security secrets about a president of the United States to you without one? How many? That's a felony every time he does it. Anything else you want to confess to?
I confess that Trump will be indicted before.
Before you? You're the one who just confessed that you're involved. You're like the Falcon and the Snowman. No. This guy confesses. You confessed to sex with hookers. Now you're involved in passing. You are being passed classified. Keep laughing. You are receiving What's the statute of limitation? Wait a second. You told us that you're getting classified intel on President Trump that's recent. That wasn't years ago. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's on fire as of right now, but
No. You said something. Oh my goodness. So what? All right, Audrey James. All right, Jonathan. What did Jonathan Pollard say?
I have no idea what Jonathan Pollard said.
Yeah, Israel is an ally of ours, and we have an agreement to pass them classified information. I shouldn't be prosecuted. They put him in a Supermax without windows for years. Oh my goodness. Great. I'm so glad you called. You broke our rule and called a second time. I almost hung up on you for doing it. And then this is like the call of the year.
Sure.
Al, in case the
I don't see anything about what he's talking about.
You want to give them you want to give them your.
No, not on the air, Steve. No. No. He'll do it now. I don't know what he. Oh my goodness. We get great. Oh, Steve, he just confessed to something again. Oh my goodness. You know, a lot of people don't know this. Stephen, no. A lot of people don't know this. We don't. You know, it's been long enough. We can talk about this now. But back during the time when the interrogations at Guantanamo Bay were going on, Steve and I were consultants with the interrogators on how to pull information out of captives. And sometimes you hear those techniques right here with our callers. Wow. I almost let him go because he called in the first hour and he called the second time, which is like our #1 rule. And I was like, I'll let this jerk go. There's only a few minutes left. How much damage can he do? And then we have the call of the year. Wow. All right. 888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631.
Pick up where we left.
His next call will probably be collect, if you get that reference. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, my name is Lisa from Pompano.
Hey, Lisa.
I'm the one that called a little while, about maybe a week and a half ago, about Marie.
Yes. Oh my God, you are lucky. You are lucky.
And we always have our neighbor friends over, so I bought like gift cards for them. But I think I'm gonna go back and get another after I get paid on Friday. I think I'm gonna get another $80 on that because it's like a super deal, and everybody likes the food. And so this past Saturday, had I known the over again, I'm the Jerry bankrolls.
Yeah, I remember your call about Jerry's bankrolls. Yes. Well, I'm glad you called in. Let me tell people what you're talking about. See, on this program, our listeners call in and do commercials, and it's pretty unique to the show. They're all spontaneous, and it's awesome. Anne Marie's has an incredible Christmas special going on, and let me walk you through this, okay? And this is absolutely amazing. If you go in for dinner, lunch, takeout, and you spend $100, which is a massive amount of food at Anne Marie's. The prices are great. The portions are huge. You spend $100, they're going to give you a gift card for $20, good for your next visit. Now, if you want to buy gift cards for people for Christmas, and let me tell you, gift cards are great gifts. My wife and I, we buy gift cards. We have some people in our family that love to eat more than anything else. You give someone a gift card from Anne Marie's, it will not get regifted, and it will get used, and they'll love it. If you go to Anne Marie's to buy a gift card and you give them $40, they're going to give you a gift card for $50. So for $40, you get a $50 gift card. And listen to this. You give them $80 for a gift card, they're going to give you a gift card for $100. And you can buy these gift cards for yourself too. And maybe I'll do that as well. So $80 gets you a $100 gift card. $40 gives you a $50 gift card. They make great gifts, and those of you out there that are employers, what a great gift for your employees this year. All right, hey, listen, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Well, great calls today, Steve. Oh, man. Liberal Al. What a clown he is. I mean, of all the callers that we've had over the years, he's the biggest clown we've ever had. I mean, he's just... he's self-destructive. You know, a lot of people ask me what Liberal Al looks like because I've met him. And I've met him over the years many times. Okay, I met him when I first, I told you, when I first started in radio. That's why I always give this guy a break. He was the first listener I met that like knew who I was. Oh, you're Brian from the radio, you know. And I was like, oh, I was so impressed with myself. So I've always given him, a break. So I've seen him over the years. And when I met him that first time, he was wearing a three-piece suit. Imagine a three-piece suit, right? And he had a pocket watch and everything else and cufflinks. He looked like, I thought, when he introduced himself, he was so well dressed. I was new at the radio station. I thought he was like the general manager of the radio station because I was at a sponsor. I didn't realize he was, you know, some weirdo caller. But I've seen him many times over the years, and he's devolved quite a bit. He looks like a 1970s porn star after they've had years of Ron. Yeah, he's got the porn mustache, you know, and that's just lived a really rough life, you know. Not why they're doing the movies like a 70s porn star would look today. Yeah, like a little bit like Ron Jeremy, a little bit taller than Ron Jeremy, but Ron Jeremy if Ron Jeremy were a little taller. Yeah. Who was your friend that was in the pornography business, Steve? That you had dinner with I was in a play with him, remember? You had dinner, oh boy. Very famous from New York. He had that show Midnight Blue in New York, Goldstein. Al Goldstein, I just throw this out to people, okay, to tell you what kind of world this is, the reason I bring this up. Steve was friends with Al Goldstein. I'm not going to tell you the name of his magazine because we're on the radio. You had dinner with him with a very famous person. Stan Lee. And I got to tell you, what was Stan Lee is the creator of Spider-Man. So you had dinner with Al Goldstein and Stan Lee. I don't know what Stan Lee was doing hanging out with Al Goldstein, who was friends with Ron Jeremy. I know, very surprising. My spidey senses are going off on that. All right. Well, listen, guys. We're winding down. I mean, after Al's call, I don't even think I want to take any more calls. Oh, yeah, like the last 5 minutes of the show. I do want to tell you guys though, and this is in all seriousness. All you're going to hear in the mainstream media is about how Herschel Walker's loss in Georgia is a statement on Trump, a referendum on Trump. People are ready to move on from Trump. And let me tell you something. You look at what they're doing to Trump, right? They got this kangaroo court in New York with the Trump Organization verdict yesterday. Got that. They're reporting last week that he's hanging out with white supremacists, which is not true. This week they're saying he wants to tear up the they got all these things. If they really believed, and this is the truth, if they really believed Trump was going to lose, that he had lost his support, that he doesn't have any juice, they wouldn't be running all these rackets to try to bring him down. They would just let him run in 2024 and have a humiliation of a defeat. And the fact that they're running all these angles and these schemes and all these other things to tarnish his reputation tells me that their internal polling, the true scientific polling that we never see, shows that he's incredibly popular and likely to win the nomination and probably the presidency. And it's being reported today that Joe Biden's going to announce he's running for re-election right after New Year's. Can you imagine? He'll be 89 years old, 88 years old at the end of the second term. I mean, that's, your age, Steve. Really? I don't know. I'm not intimidated by Joe Biden, but I find it interesting that after everything that's gone on, the Democrats have decided to run him again. There's something going on that we don't know about. But you know what? We'll have to talk about it tomorrow because we're about out of time for today. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Some great calls today. I want to especially thank Liberal Al for calling in twice, especially with the second call. Do we have records of that? We got to have copies of that call. We may need them. All right. Listen, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. Steve, of course, has been here. This is Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, when Star Wars was in theaters during its original theatrical run, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. Next year, well, it'll be 46. Thanks, everyone, again for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow and with your calls, and a lot's happening that we didn't even get to today, because we were talking so much about Herschel Walker. So don't miss tomorrow's show. It's going to be a good one, I promise you. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning. WWN. All right, guys, thanks for watching.